Y'all, my ninja stars, it's your boy Kosan, Break A Leg Ent, and then you tuned in to the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. Get that in your life.
We're going to do this one for the arts. Shout out to all the arts. Shout out to all the creatives. Shout out Jersey City. Shout out Jersey. Shout out Break A Leg Entertainment. The Gahhd Cast. Shout out Straight Fuego Studios. Brother F, hit me. If anybody knows French, I want to know what Shorty said in the beginning. Shout out to Mickey Mouse. Shout out to Mickey Fact. Shout out to the BX. Episode 126, the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast.
It's crazy that y'all played this, but you didn't even know I was connected.
I love this.
That's crazy though that you
Oh,
played this.
Great minds. Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Rest in peace, Keith Haring. It's Mick.
What sentence to make, yo? He gonna share this, man. Y'all showing him love. Shout out to my man Carvo, is Mickey's producer actually, his engineer. So shout out to my man Carvo for mixing and mastering a lot of Mickey's music.
Shout out to all the graffiti artists.
Night Riders.
Shout out to all my people in France. Shout out to Oddity in France.
Music.
Welcome world, welcome world. My bad. I am. My bad, I blew smoke on you. Welcome world, welcome world. I am the brother Burnz.
Ooh. That must be that Zaza.
Damn. I am the brother Burnz. To the left of me, I got the brother BS.
Yes to the OP, you know what it be, man. We in here, repping that LBE, rocking that MDMA all day, man.
On the check-in, International Blood.
Popping my niggas, Jersey City all day. Let's go.
That's right. And in studio today, we got Break A Leg Entertainment CEO and founder, the brother Kosan, Jersey City legend.
Jersey City, what up, man?
Welcome,
Appreciate y'all. Yo,
See, I got the shirt on, man.
Yes, sir. That's
You know what I
right.
mean? Shout out to Jay Rio. Shout out to Mo Bean for making the connection.
That's right.
We were on the Puerto Rican Day parade float. That's how I met
Yes,
these
sir.
guys.
That's how we linked.
That's a great way to meet.
Oh, yeah, that was a
on
great
the float,
fucking day,
on the
bro.
float, on the parade.
That shit was on my bucket list, bro. People don't believe me when I say that shit. Like, yo, that shit was on my bucket list.
Yo, shout out to Ito and Nice the Future
Oh, yeah,
and
the brother
DB
DiBiase.
that was out there.
Sam
them
Black
cats.
was out there. He ain't get on the floor, but he
Chilltown.
was out there. Shout out,
Chilltown and Upstate was repping big.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Still here.
I keep a couple racks posted on the corner, hand on the Glock, run up on
We here, we here.
Shout out to Loyal Dynasty Lifestyle. Shout out to brother Mo Green. Shout out to brother Jay Rio. Shout out to brother Kosan in the building.
Front Roy Regal, shout out to them.
Yeah,
For sponsoring the float.
Yo, they doing a lot of dope things in Rochester. From Roy Regal, they got like it's like an art gallery / smoke shop / dispensary /
Dope.
like studio. Yo,
Who's behind all that?
that was well, Jay Rios is behind it, but he partnered up with the brother. I don't remember his name, but he was on the float with us. He was the one
Okay.
hanging the banners up.
Got you.
The brother
Yeah,
that was there with
the
his
team.
lady. Yeah, and they
I
was
saw
throwing
them.
the candy.
Yeah, they gave me the chocolate, man. Shout out to that.
Yeah, good.
I was
people
floating
right
on the
there.
float.
Hell yeah.
I was definitely floating on the float.
Shout out to Doo-Wop, he did his thing that day as well. And damn, that was a great day, bro.
Yo, DJ Doo-Wop, man. Legend, man. Shout out to DJ
Yeah,
Doo-Wop,
man. Shout
bro.
out Classic Materials New York, he was out there. Miss Doo-Wop was out there. I believe Miss Classic Materials was out there.
Word
So
up,
just a
man.
beautiful day, man. Jersey City showed a lot of love. And that was my first time on a float in a parade, so that shit was awesome. Brother F shot it and recapped it. If you ain't seen that, go check that out on the YouTube. Make sure you're following the YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you're following at Break A Leg Entertainment on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. They have 43 plus episodes. There's 2 shows up there, Constructive Criticism, which is a music review show. We're going to get into that later, and we're going to tell you how you can submit your music for review. They also have the Out My Garage series. And then they also do a lot of events. Now, Break A Leg Entertainment, I keep saying they, but it's like just you, right? You and your lady, you said?
All right. Well, I mean, basically, I started Break A Leg on my own.
Right.
I mean, shout out to everyone who's collaborated with me, to artists and creators and other like minds that have collaborated with me and like worked on flyers and different themes and ideas and stuff like that. But my lady's my partner.
Right.
Shout out to Redhead Susan.
Shout out.
For all your website graphic design needs, make sure you holler at us because she works with a brand called Classic Material NY. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
He was there with us.
Shout out to Carlos.
Yeah.
But my lady actually runs their website. She designed their website and she manages their website. So shout out to Classic Material.
Oh yeah, the brother Classic Materials was actually scheduled to be up here, but he got scheduled on a weekend that we were not available.
Word.
So we are working on rescheduling him.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring him up for sure, man.
He is a legend in the making right there, if not a legend already.
Anytime I hang out with him, it's like, oh, yo, I'm chilling with Conway. I'm chilling with this guy. Like, you know what I mean?
He just put out some new a new capsule, the old New York, but he put out another one. Damn, I'm not gonna remember it now, and I don't want to check the phone because I don't want to unplug it by mistake again. But shout out to him, he's doing dope things. He's always doing dope things, and we're gonna
make sure you follow Classic Material NY.
Absolutely,
Classic Material NY, man.
While we're there, my bad, bro. Give me a second. While we're there, make sure you're following at GAHHD_podcast. Make sure you're following at Deadass_worldwide. Make sure you're following the brother F at EFNR711 if you need studio time, if you need somewhere to shoot a video, or if you just need video production and or editing. Also, make sure you're following at @thereal_VSOP. That's a Twitter exclusive. Make sure you're following at money_Burnz with a Z. And make sure you're following at Break A Leg Ent. That's all on Instagram. Go ahead, Blood. My bad to cut you off. I had to hit the promo.
It's all good, my bro. He got the video music box capsule that he was doing with Ralph McDaniel. That shit was dope. And I think the one that you're talking about right now is the Doom and Ghostface one, right?
That's the one, with the Doom mask.
The Doom and Ghostface joint.
Yeah. So what he does, the dioramas? Is that what he does?
No, Classic Material is a clothing line.
Oh.
So he does the t-shirts,
he does like playoffs of classic hip hop stuff. Like a lot of it. He's got like 5 mic shirts for any albums that were like 5 mics in the source, different stuff like that. Sometimes he has album covers, whatever, or different like classic hip hop bars.
Yeah.
He'll put on a shirt, whatever. Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough, stuff like that. So make sure y'all go check that out.
Yeah,
man.
definitely make sure you check that out. And the good people at Classic Materials New York, don't be shy to send a care package over here.
Word.
We're going to get into Mickey Facts. We're going to get into Joe Budden real quick. Before we get into that, by the time this episode releases to the public and y'all hear this information will be old news, but I would be remiss if I did not speak on it. And it's an injustice that I feel is currently occurring, and it's taking place in the NBA. It's in relation to Kyrie Irving and some controversy surrounding him. He was recently suspended by the Brooklyn Nets, and I do believe Nike cut all ties with him. So now the Nets have delivered a list of demands that Kyrie must meet in order to return to the team. Number 1, he must apologize and condemn the movie that he tweeted about with no context. He only tweeted a link. He didn't say anything about it, but he has to apologize and he has to condemn the movie. He has to give a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes.
He did that already.
He has to do sensitivity training. He has to do anti-Semitic training. He has to meet with the ADL and the Jewish leaders, and he has to meet with Joe Tsai to demonstrate understanding. How do y'all brothers feel about this? Let's start with our guest because he hadn't heard the list. That's his first time hearing the list.
You know what? Before I talk about that, I want to say something that I recognized, and I think I've recognized this before, but now that we having all these situations happen and all these crazy like suspensions and some weird stuff happening, if you watch hockey, right, these guys actually fight, right? These guys actually beat the crap out of each other, right? You know what they get?
Time,
a 2-minute
right?
penalty.
Yeah, in the box,
Time penalty, yeah.
A 2-minute penalty
For actual fist
exchange.
Yeah.
A 2-minute penalty. So now y'all do the math, man. How are these guys only getting a 2-minute penalty for fighting? Mm-hmm. And then you got guys that are just, I'll trip somebody, let's say. Or I grabbed them a certain way. I've fouled them hard. I'm getting suspended for 2 games because I fouled them hard and fined. Mm-hmm. Bro, I think the whole system is unfair when it comes to that type of stuff. When it comes to punishing athletes for their actions, and you see it in basketball and you see it in football the most. To me,
yeah. So what you have to realize and think about is remember. In hockey, the majority of players are 90 to 95% white.
95, fam. It's like
I didn't want to say it, but
98 probably, yeah.
99%.
But you knew what I was saying. You know what I mean? You knew what I was saying, man.
I think 5 black hockey players, or 5 hockey players in the NHL that are not white.
Other than white. And now look at the NBA, where it's opposite. 98% African American.
Right.
Same thing for the NFL. NFL might be a little less. I'd say, I don't know what, 80% maybe?
Yeah, 80%.
Or the quarterbacks are white. That's about it.
Basically, minus. Yeah,
So, the white athletes perform actual violence, which, in my opinion,
I seen them. I
be,
saw them like
promoting violence, right? If a kid sees that shit, he's going to want to recreate it. Yeah.
Yo,
and they get the 2-minute penalty.
Right.
The black
2-minute
artist,
penalty, yo.
Kyrie, for example, he ain't even fight nobody. He ain't trip nobody.
He ain't do nothing.
Whether you believe what he did was right or wrong, that is for you to form your opinion. I'm not going to give my opinion.
Facts.
He tweeted a link to a movie that he had an opinion about. He didn't give his opinion. He only tweeted the link.
So why isn't the director of the movie getting punished?
Why isn't Amazon getting punished who actually streams the movie?
I mean, I don't.
These are a lot of questions, but then it goes back to what you were saying with the NHL in comparison to the NBA and the NFL. The NBA and the NFL,
it's crazy.
There are athletes out there who have compared both of these leagues to slavery.
Yeah.
And they're not too far off. Not to get too deep into slavery, but considering the wages, the disparity between owner and player, considering the punishment that is readily available, the comparison might not be too far off.
Well,
crazy, man.
I think this just proves the point that Kanye made. He's like, when black or not white people do some shit, everybody gets in trouble. All the blacks get in trouble. But when a white dude does some whack shit, only that person gets scolded. And
I wouldn't even say they get scolded.
No, but I'm saying their punishment is way less severe.
And plus, these are things that they associate with the urban culture.
Right.
The urban culture, basketball, football, hip hop. Yo, they just called Aaron Carter a rapper on MTV on their Instagram.
Aaron Carter, the brother of
that just passed away.
Just passed
Rest
away.
in peace.
Wait, Aaron Carter died?
He passed away yesterday. Rest in peace. I'm not disrespecting
No.
Aaron Carter
I didn't
in
know-
no
I
way.
didn't know that.
But MTV called him a rapper.
Wow.
They said rapper Aaron Carter passed away.
Me, pop star.
That's let's hear Blood's opinion on Kyrie.
Come on, man. That's crazy.
My opinion is going to be a little controversial because I like to play devil's advocate, and I already think Kyrie is a little bit of he's just kind of like the exception to the rule, kind of like Kanye, where he's already been controversial. So I can't, I'm not too educated on the subject. I'm not as educated enough that I can formulate a proper opinion that I can say, hey, they're wrong, they're right for suspending him. But I already see as Kyrie as being controversial, and he's already brought a lot of heat to the organization, to Brooklyn.
Can I ask you what makes you say Kyrie is controversial?
He, when during COVID, he didn't want to get vaccinated. And again, that has nothing to do with this. And you go formulate your own opinion on that as well. But he was controversial in that situation. And,
I agree with you too, man.
You know,
See, I disagree.
I agree with him. No, because I feel like even when he went to Boston, he just brings that energy with him where people don't want to be around him, man.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's very anti-establishment.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
a lot of things that he does, you can question, like, damn, like Kyrie, like why, you know, like even with the flat Earth thing, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could be a flat earther, but come on, man, like for real.
See, that's
You know,
where
like, for real.
I think you and I land on different side of the roads. I love that shit. Like whether
Yeah,
I
I mean,
believe
it's
flat
fine.
Earth or not, I don't. Whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm no space fucking scientist, but I just love the fact that he's expressed his opinion. He's not scared
Yeah,
to say, yo, I think there's a flat Earth, or yo, I think vaccines
I do
are
as well.
bullshit.
He doesn't
I
care
do as
what you
well,
think about him.
but then you cannot blame the organization for taking action against it, because you could have, like, it's like what I always say, you could have freedom of speech. You feel me? I have freedom of speech. I could say whatever I want, but there's consequences to that freedom of speech. You know what I mean? So if I'm on the street saying, yo, fuck A, B, and C, if I get punched in the face by A, B, and C, it is what it is, because I have the freedom of speech. I said it, but I got punched in the face for it. So you got to deal with those consequences, and that's what's happening with Kyrie right now.
And and you're signed to the
So,
NBA,
do
dude.
you
You gotta
think,
follow, you know.
My thing is this: he didn't do anything illegal, and he's being
This
fined.
is
suspended.
exaggerated.
His livelihood is being like basically taken away from him. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
but
he didn't do anything illegal. He didn't even.
No,
when
he
put it
didn't
up,
do anything illegal.
When he put up the documentary on his Twitter or wherever it was, he didn't even say, "Go watch this." He didn't say nothing.
No, he just posted.
He just
like,
put it up.
it's like
he
a
was
lot
watching
of
it.
talking
Like
heads.
he watched it. That was it. Like
It's like a lot of talking heads were saying on ESPN. Anything on social media is promotion. So you can say, hey, I wasn't promoting it, but if you're tweeting it, then what exactly are you doing?
You got
You're
millions
sending
of
the
followers.
message
That's true.
about it. So you know what I'm saying? Just the same thing I was talking about Kanye. He's saying white lives matter, right? Hey, you don't know what message he's putting out there, but the context of it. Now, if you put white lives matter with a question mark, then I'll be like, all right, well, maybe
But we
he's saying
still
something
don't know
different.
his context, and he's
Exactly.
already been
But
judged
what I'm
and
trying to
punished.
say is we don't know his context, but it's questionable. So the actions that the organization has to take, obviously, are from the outside looking in. You know, we say that the whites don't deal with the consequences as much as the blacks or the minorities. But look at what happened with these owners of the NBA. You know what I mean? They had to sell their organizations. You know, the owner of the Suns,
But they
the owner of
actually
the
said
Clippers.
something though. Like they were
Yeah,
caught
they
saying
actually
some
said-
shit. Kyrie didn't
Exactly,
say shit.
but it's not illegal. Is
Kyrie
it
didn't
illegal?
say fuck Jews or anything like
Is it
that.
illegal though? Is it illegal for you to use
That's
the
not the
N-word?
point,
No,
though.
right?
The point is,
It's
you're
probably
condemning-
illegal by NBA rules.
Right.
Exactly. Like it is illegal to formulate an anti-Semitic post. You know? You get what I'm saying? Like,
But that's if you believe his post was anti-Semitic.
Exactly.
well, he didn't say it wasn't.
Nor did he
That's
say
the
it
whole
was.
thing.
Say it was.
Exactly, but nor did he say it was. Come on, man.
So they had to take action. I'm
So
not
they're
agreeing
only
with it.
assuming then.
I'm not as educated.
They're assuming
I'm
the
just trying to
worst.
tell you
But the
Kyrie and what he's done over the years. You
I'm
feel
not-
me?
Yeah.
He's a controversial figure.
But
Regardless.
that's your opinion, and I think the conversation is bigger than Kyrie. I think it's more so. Take Brett Favre, for example. Brett Favre didn't get condemned. Brett Favre didn't get canceled. Brett Favre probably didn't even get punished, and he probably didn't even give the money back that he stole. But nobody talks about that.
Yo, you know what? This
Yeah,
is
fuck Brett Favre.
it's blown out of proportion on both sides. Because I could tell you for a fact that I work for Jewish people, you know, because I work in the production world. Like I do lighting, video, sound stuff. So I work for a lot of Jewish people. They don't care what none of these people are saying about them, about
Right.
their culture.
Right.
They really don't care about that.
It's a lot of black against black.
Right.
It's a
Or
lot
us
of
against
people
us.
sharing
their
propaganda
opinions.
or just news that is just like worthless.
So let me
It's
ask y'all a
worthless. It's
question, and we'll
worthless.
go around before we move on, because I don't want to stay on Kyrie too long, because I think this conversation could go on a long time.
It could be a whole episode.
And we'll probably get super heated, because I don't agree with anything Bludshot said. But, well, this is a two-part question. Do you think he will retire or take the six punishments, I guess, or what? I don't know the right word to use it. And the second part of the question is, how do you feel if
In either way?
either way? Yeah.
Go ahead. We'll let the guest answer first.
Knowing Kyrie, I don't think he's gonna take it.
I hope he don't.
I don't think he's gonna take it.
Kyrie has Australian citizenship and millions of dollars. He can go over there and live his life.
I was gonna say, I think he's gonna go play overseas or something like that. Because his value is even higher somewhere else. Yeah. Because he'll be the main attraction. Look at what Stephon Marbury did after his career was over. Yeah. You know what I mean? His career was over, and he made still dominated.
He's a
millions and millions.
God in China.
And I think Kyrie could do the same thing.
If he were to take the 6 commandments and fold, how would you feel? Or would you even feel anything?
I wouldn't. Listen, I mean, if that's his decision and he does that, then I feel like, hey, he's doing what he got to do. That's what he feels like. You know what I mean? Yeah. He don't want to lose his career, his legacy in the NBA. So I feel like that's the only reason he would do it is to try to keep his legacy in the NBA going.
All right, same question to you, Blood.
Basketball. It's about basketball.
Do you think he'll say fuck the list or take the list?
I don't know what his decision was. He's very controversial. Again, you don't know where his mind is, but I think he's stupid if he bows out of the league now. You know, hey, take your punishment and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's being levied down from the organization, and whether you agree with it or not, sometimes you gotta pay the punishment, pay the price for certain things that even though you feel is not right, you just gotta, take it and keep it moving. And that way he could shut up anybody that has to say about him in the long run. Because at the end of the day, he's a person, but he's also an athlete, and he put his time into making it to. Not only is he in the NBA, but he's a champion. He's probably MVP level, in my opinion, and he could capture more rings when it's all said and done. So I think he's stupid if he bounces from the league. You know what I mean?
And if he takes the 6, you don't lose any respect for him?
I mean, no, because at the end of the day, if that's what he has to do to stay in the league, then that's what he has to do. You know what I mean?
Okay. VS, same question. Retire or take the punishment?
I think.
Do you think he will?
In Kyrie's case, it's very probable that he will say, you know what, fuck this, and I'm out. Because one thing about Kyrie is he prides himself on being a free thinker. Right. And he doesn't he's not the type of person that likes to be cornered into something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
They're basically telling him, here's your career basically on this piece of paper. You can either accept this and continue your career, or you can crumble it up, throw it in our face, and walk out the door.
But in order to accept a career, you have to
bow down
against your entire belief system.
That's what I mean. You got to bow down. That's what I'm saying. So
sort of like a Nick Cannon situation, almost.
So,
big time.
So in my opinion, if he decides to walk away, good for him. He stood 10 toes down. And he said, "Fuck these people. I don't need your money. You more need me than I need you." You understand what I'm saying? This team. And the other thing I want to ask is this punishment handed down by the league or the team?
No, the team.
The team?
The Nets.
He could say, "Fuck the Nets," and I'll go play for anybody else that wants me that doesn't want to levy this.
Hey, yo, it's just so funny that it's in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
It's in Brooklyn.
There's a lot of Jews in Brooklyn.
Exactly. That's what I'm for. I didn't want to say it.
Wasn't there
the whole Marcy? The whole Marcy is Jews.
Yusuf Hawkins thing.
Yeah.
Yo.
And no one got punished.
Right.
All right, let's move on because the
crazy,
controversy and the tension.
A hard head make a soft fast, man. That's all I gotta say, man.
Nah, fam.
You gotta stand.
I'm telling you, fam.
Bro. Let's move on. Let's speaking.
Bro,
of,
but where was this
free
before the whole
thinkers,
Kanye shit, man? Where was Kyrie before the whole Kanye? He only fucking formulated this opinion after the fact. Fuck out of here, man.
Well, he might have only just seen the movie now.
Right.
Man, that's whack, man. That's whack.
To have beliefs is whack.
Nah, not to have beliefs, but
stand on
again, man.
To choose your belief over money.
Where was this belief before? You feel me? Again, this nigga.
You think there's gonna be another Colin Kaepernick situation?
No, because
where like the Nets let him
this
go.
This is way different from the Colin Kaepernick
nobody
situation.
will ever sign him again. No, I'm not talking about the same situation that happened.
Similar,
I'm talking about how the league is going to treat him. I'm saying like
they're gonna
say let's say the Nets release him, and like the Niners did to Kaepernick, and nobody ever signed him again.
It's possible. Yeah. You know, the NBA is a large organization not owned by the people who make it a thing. You feel me?
Yeah, true.
So it's always up to the owners, bro. And if all the owners are of a certain mindset.
But isn't Silver Jewish too? Silver's Jewish.
Oh, I don't know.
Who's Silver?
I'm pretty sure the commissioner and Stern
doesn't that make
him.
it even worse then?
Yeah, I mean, if you say, if you Puerto Rican and you own the NBA, and they say fuck Puerto Ricans, aren't you gonna be like, yo, suspend this cat? Fuck out of here.
That's no, you can't.
Yes, you can.
You can't mix business with
person.
No, but it's anti again.
He didn't do anything.
This is the problem, Bludshot.
He didn't do anything.
Your focus is always on the smaller picture, where my focus is always on the bigger picture. Any NBA
your
player
focus
right now
is on the smaller picture.
No, because any NBA player right now can go out there and say fuck Puerto Rico and nothing will happen. They won't get suspended.
He's expressing himself again, but he's anti a people. You get what I'm saying? So
right,
you can't
but
do that.
you're not listening to what I said. Any NBA player can go to a press conference right now and say fuck Puerto Rico and nothing will happen to them. They will not get suspended. They will not have a list of 6 commandments.
If I share a link to the Tina Turner movie, right? Does that mean I support abuse of women? I just watched the movie.
No, you wouldn't be punished because you're offending blacks. So it doesn't matter.
But
you
it's
can
the
do
same
that
thing
all
that
day.
just happened
I'm just trying to compare it.
with-
I don't know. I'm trying to give us an example. But what I'm saying is, if I shared something like that was like supportive of abuse of women,
like violence
I
against
watched this
women.
movie. It's a biography.
Only if the woman is getting beat as a Jewish woman.
Right. Or
Gotcha.
a white woman.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Because again, look at what happened to the NBA owners. You know what I'm saying?
The NBA owners got punished because they got caught. I'm willing to bet there's a larger percentage of NBA owners that do the same thing.
They just didn't get caught.
But they got caught. But they got caught. Yeah, and they had to sell their
It all started
franchise.
with an email, man.
Yeah, big time.
And look at what happened with Gruden. Gruden, the same thing happened. John Gruden was talking about black people, and it wasn't even as serious, as egregious as these NBA owners, and he got fired
Again.
from Oakland or Vegas, whatever you want to say.
Do you think he was the only coach doing that?
No, I don't think so, but he got caught is what I'm saying. Same thing with Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? He put the tweet out. Like, you can formulate your opinion, but again, you have to deal with the consequences.
There's a big difference between saying fuck.
He didn't even have an opinion though. He watched the
black
movie.
people and just tweeting a link.
Exactly.
He didn't say, "Oh, I like this movie. It was great."
We're gonna have to
say
move.
anything.
We're
He
gonna
just
have to
shared
move
the
from
link
this
to the
subject.
movie.
We have to move because
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
never
yeah.
gonna agree.
Yeah. You're right.
You sounding like a sellout.
Nah, not a sellout. You sounding like a sucker.
I'll be a sucker, but I'll be believing in
All
my
day.
sucker
All
beliefs.
day, yeah.
Because you're
Keep your
saying
small
Kyrie's
beliefs.
controversial for not taking a fucking vaccination that later was proved to not even be
That effective.
valid or did anything to help.
And now
so
they're
all
giving,
along he
and
was
that-
right.
And now they're giving people their wages back
We don't
that
know
miss
this.
work because they're not
Yeah.
being vaccinated.
We don't know this.
We do know this because they said it themselves,
It was
my
proven.
brother. You got to read. The company themselves came out and said, yo, this vaccine was never tested and it wasn't worth shit.
Well, I took it. I kept it moving. I caught COVID and I lived. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
That's fair.
When
You
I feel like
stood
it
by
could have
your
been way worse.
beliefs. You stood
I feel
by
like it
your
could have been way
beliefs,
worse.
and that's awesome. But you
Yeah, that's
gotta
what I
allow
believe.
Kyrie to stand by his belief and not
Yeah,
get
and
mad
then
at him
he
when
has to.
does.
What I'm saying, he has to deal with the consequences.
Hey, yo, what
He
about the young
couldn't
kid?
play.
What about the young kid from the Atlanta Hawks that had to stop playing because he took the vaccination
He caught like a
and,
heart attack
and he
or
had
something,
heart
right?
problems, bro?
A lot
Yeah,
of
that
people
sucks.
did.
You know what
a
I
lot
mean?
of people
That
have
sucks.
caught ill
And I'm not
side
knocking
effects.
anybody for taking the vaccination. If you feel like that's going to protect you, if you have certain health disorders or something like that, I don't knock anybody, yo. You know what I mean? But again, you can't knock somebody else for choosing a different path when it
No,
comes
you
to that.
can't.
for
You
that.
can't. But you have to deal with the consequences.
I'm all
is what
about
saying. Again.
taking elderberry and doing
But if you notice
stuff
with the
naturally,
vaccine,
man.
the people that got vaccinated will always shit on the people that didn't get vaccinated and their choice
For
and their
what?
belief.
I'm not shitting
However,
on them.
the people that didn't get vaccinated, I never hear them talking shit about the people that got vaccinated. They
Nah.
don't give a fuck. Nigga.
No,
You
we're just
believe
talking
in
about-
that,
Yes, they
you
do.
win
We're
it.
talking
Yes, they
about
do.
we're talking
Yes,
about
they
the
do.
vaccination,
Yes, they do.
not
Those are the worst
people that are
kind of
taking
people.
it.
Those are the worst kinds of people. The people that weren't getting vaccinated and they weren't wearing masks. So where does that leave you?
Oh,
Like
man.
people were just getting sick.
All right,
move on,
Let's
my
move
bro.
on. Let's move on. Let's move on to the Kyrie.
Yeah, man.
Back to the brother
Yeah,
Mickey
man.
Facts. You are good friends with the brother Mickey Facts.
Yo, shout out to Mickey Facts. I met Mickey back in like 2000 and I want to say like 18, 17, something like that. maybe early, like 16, something like that.
I want to
Actually,
go back and just see when was that mixtape that came out, because I've been a Mickey Facts mixtape fan since he put out a mixtape where he rapped over like all 90s beats and he had a DeLorean.
it's called Back to the Future.
That's it?
Yeah.
Do you remember what year it came out?
That had to come out like in 2009 or 10 or something like that.
That was when I discovered the bro.
And yeah, so I did an interview with Mickey. Shout out to my man Al Miller from Paul's Cousin. It's a group that was from Newark. They actually plugged me in with Mickey. They were on the same label as him, and he came through and did an interview with us. And ever since then, we've been cool. And we did like 3 shows with Mickey in Jersey City. We brought him out. He brought Swave Sever out. Yeah, we just been, actually my friend, a best friend of mine who moved down to Atlanta, because Mickey moved to Atlanta too, down Georgia, not in Atlanta maybe, but just in Georgia. Mickey tweeted that he was looking for an engineer in that area.
Right.
So it just so happened my boy that had his own studio lived down there.
No shit.
So I hit him up. I was like, yo, bro, here, just take my boy Carvel's number. And ever since then, they've been recording.
Shout out to that, man. Word.
He didn't record the diss he did with Royce, the joint he did.
Mickey dissed Royce?
Yeah, remember that whole situation? Let's not even talk about that.
I don't. I remember Lupe dissing Royce.
Yeah,
I remember Lupe and Royce bumped heads. I don't remember Mickey and Royce bumping heads.
No, because remember Royce was in the thing talking to Mickey, talking about checking boxes. You don't remember that?
No.
He was calling him out, talking about, yo, you don't be checking boxes. You don't be checking boxes.
No.
Yeah. It was him, Lupe. They were doing like a live.
Yeah. And podcast.
And
was that where it
and
started?
Royce was talking junk to Mickey or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look into that.
Yeah.
But shout out to Mickey Facts. If y'all never heard any Mickey Facts music, go check out the Back to the Future mixtape.
The Achievement.
Go check out the Achievement. Go check out the Phoenix. Go check out the Love Life Lust series.
Yep.
Check out Why and Why Not. Both of those are 2 of my favorite joints. Oh, and check out the Mickey Mouse mixtape. It's like a concept mixtape where he is an artist in the 80s named Mickey Mouse who's fucking with Keith Haring and Basquiat and all of them.
It's crazy, yo.
okay.
And the way he did it, he just got that off. So if you've never listened to Mickey Facts, or if you're not up on Mickey Facts, make sure y'all go check out these projects.
And shout out what he's doing now too.
Right. So tell me more about this. He's doing something like a professor of lyricism.
So he's working with a brand called Pendulum Inc.
Nice.
Shout out to Pendulum
Shout out
Inc.
to Pendulum.
So what they're doing is they're bringing attention to lyricism. They're doing master classes with all these like writers, legendary writers from hip hop.
Okay.
So Mickey had Fonte on there. He's had Sci-Hi the Prince on there. He's had Inspector Deck on there.
That's dope.
Now he just announced Method Man about to be on there. And they're actually teaching people their like creative processes and how they break down bars and bar structure and literature and all this crazy stuff. I mean, when I was looking at it, the people that sign up, they get like a 250-page textbook that comes along with signing up for this. Yeah. So
now let me ask you a question, and we spoke about this a little bit pre-show, and I actually want to ask everyone this question: do you think such a class would make you a better rapper? Not you specifically, but someone in general takes the class, they get the textbook, they listen to Method Man's creative process and how it is.
You know what? I'm gonna counter your question with another question. Do you think everyone that goes to college for every like any type of trade or anything, do you think they become good electricians or plumbers?
It's like a percentage, right? So let's say I would actually say more so no. Right. I'd say like probably 60-40 no. Most people who go to college end up doing something totally different than whatever they study.
Right.
So these people taking the class, in my opinion, first of all, I don't think you become a better rapper per se from someone telling you their process. Now, if you go rap with Method Man a couple times or repetitively, you might get better because you're like, damn, I gotta fucking step it up.
Well, it actually started with them going on this app called Bars app, and they were rapping side by side with Mickey Facts or with these people. So I mean, they actually do that. They have these contests.
The class is dope too. I'm not saying it's not dope.
No, I know.
Can I get my opinion on that?
I think what you're saying, like I was trying to point out, is that I don't think everyone that takes the class probably gets anything from it.
Right.
But I think the focal point that they're doing is like focusing on the lyrics,
right,
and trying to show people about structuring your bars a certain way,
and also
whatever.
the different processes, because everybody don't write bars the same.
Exactly.
And I think what you're really trying to say is like you can't learn how to rap from a textbook.
Well, no, because everyone learns differently. So everyone can't learn how to rap from a textbook.
Yeah, but still,
So
that's
let me
real quick, before you start, Blood. I'm gonna let you go, but real quick. But that's not a thing. That's not in my opinion. That's not an art form or a trade or something that you can actually get from a textbook.
Nah.
That's what I'm trying to get.
I think you have to have potential. You have to have potential already.
You already have to have the potential, of course. But if you have zero knowledge of constructing rhymes or song or bars,
or you're talking about the technical
textbook will help.
aspects.
Yeah, the textbook will help you. All right, go ahead, Blood.
In my opinion, if you're trying to become a better rapper from going to, or excuse me, not a better rapper. If you're trying to become a rapper from going to that class, you're not a rapper to begin with. I think that it can help. Education helps with anything it is. Now, you might be able to take that class and do something else from it, like get better at producing. It'll open up your mind to something else. But yeah, I think it might help if you're already a rapper. It might help a little bit. But if you're already a rapper,
what if you never rapped before? What if you like? What if you just don't know anything about bar and song structure, and the class teaches you that? You know, it'll help.
Yeah, I think it'll help.
Also, I think it depends what class you go to.
20%, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Why wouldn't it?
Maybe Talib Kweli is better at explaining something than, say, Method Man.
True.
You know what I mean? So it depends on kind of who's the teacher for that day.
They most definitely have different process.
But what I like is that Mickey Fax is the creator, and I would guess he's like the MC of it. So he's probably kind of like guiding the conversation. Exactly. And he's very educated and very well spoken. And if I'm not mistaken, he's done other classes before.
Yo, you know what I want to say? Mickey wrote something on his Instagram. I want to read it. It says, MCs who enroll with Pendulum Inc. will receive a 250-page textbook with over 50 techniques to help you become a better writer, deliverer, and theorist. Not rapper. Writer, deliverer, and theorist.
Exactly.
See, that's
and
good.
there are hundreds of how to rhyme books and how to rhyme videos on YouTube. I've watched 90% of them. And we have stuff that you can't find online or in these books. So make sure y'all go sign up for Pendulum.
Yeah, especially the caliber of MCs.
They sign up? Does it have that info real quick?
Yeah, you got to go on penduluminc.com.
Penduluminc.com.
Yes, sir.
Check that out. He's got a new class coming with Method Man. That's the next professor.
That's dope.
Yo, that's crazy. Method Man is one of the fucking greatest rappers of all time.
Yo, he announced like the next season that he's got coming up. You talking about like Black Thought and some crazy names,
and
man. Pharoah Monch, I think he mentioned Pharoah Monch.
Yeah,
we were just talking about
Max
them on a previous
had an
episode.
orgasm right now.
Yeah, for real. Max would have went crazy.
Are these streamable?
What you said?
Do you know if they stream the classes?
I think it's a private
anywhere?
sessions.
Yeah.
They do stream them, but you have to sign up in order to see it.
We got a young homie, cousin to the brother Machito family. Wichito, his son is a burgeoning rapper.
Okay.
Yo, he announced
Big
Boy from Outkast, bro, is gonna be there in year 2, man.
That's
awesome.
That
dope
is
artist.
crazy, man.
That's dope
man.
because he's getting a lot of different artists too.
Yeah.
He's not just sticking to, super lyrical bar smiths from New York and shit like that. Like he's actually reaching out to different people and shit.
RJ Payne. He did. That's
Wow.
another one.
Payne is dope. I fuck with Payne hard. So.
Ladies month. Yo, ladies month is gonna be Rod Digger, Shauna, and Jazz the rapper. Yo,
Nice.
Shout out to Rod Digger, Shauna, and Jazz the rapper.
yo,
Shout
that's
out
crazy,
to
man.
Jersey,
And Shauna.
Atlanta,
man.
and Brooklyn. Right? Jazz the rapper's from Brooklyn, or she's from the Bronx?
And Shauna's from Chicago.
Oh yeah, Shauna is from Chicago. True that. She was on Twister's.
By way of Atlanta. Yeah.
Yes, true that. Shout out to Mickey Fax. Mickey Fax was
Big
in
facts.
the room when a certain tragedy happened to my bro Joe Budden.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the brother Kosan actually has
Connections to both of them, man.
This nigga's
He's a
hater.
tragedy.
This guy's a hater, bro.
He's a tragedy.
The brother
I'm not
Kosan
hating.
has
Are you talking about the Wu-Tang incident?
Yes, the Wu-Tang tragedy. Get it correct.
Well, I mean, come on, man. Joe Budden knows better than to put himself in that caliber, man. Come on. Again, that's my opinion.
I'm not trying to go
opinion.
off the subject though.
He gave his
That's my
opinion.
That's my opinion, bro. Oh,
I
my
got
God.
you.
I think
got you,
every
girl. I
rapper is
feel you.
supposed to think they're the greatest rapper.
Of course.
Yo,
Unless-
but chill,
unless,
but not disrespecting a GOAT. You know what I mean?
That
Come
is a
on,
fact.
man.
You don't have to disrespect somebody. Just say,
both things can be true.
Right.
Both things can be
No,
true.
no,
Why did
they
have to-
can't.
He did
A
mention
rapper's
Wu-Tang,
not supposed to think he's the best.
but bro, he said
But
he was
not
He said he
disrespecting
was
a
better
goat.
than the whole
But
clan,
both things
bro.
can be true,
Yo,
my
homie.
brother. Yes,
Are
he
you
can think
kidding
he's
me,
the
bro?
best and not disrespect somebody.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he
man.
could do that. He can do it
Again,
humbly.
freedom of speech and consequences.
My brother, I'm agreeing with you on this one.
Oh, you agree with me?
Yes,
My
on
bad,
this
my bad.
one I'm agreeing with you. I'm
Oh,
saying he
okay,
can
okay.
think he's the best
without having
and not
to
offend somebody.
without having to disrespect.
No,
somebody.
absolutely.
So
yeah.
he
'Cause
was
I know
incorrect.
that's a big homie. I
He
know
was
that's a big
incorrect.
homie.
Yeah, but still, when you're wrong. Big homie or not, I'm gonna call you out. So he was incorrect in calling out.
No, but Mickey was in the room when that happened.
Right,
He
because
was,
he was working
he
with.
was a media
Right.
person at the time. I don't know if he was writing for a magazine or something
could've
like
been doing
that,
the camera stuff for
or
Joe Budden
whatever.
TV.
Yeah, but
Right.
he was doing media stuff at the time, and he was working.
shit.
I know he was working with Mouse a lot, Joe Budden a lot, and he was there that day. Yeah, and I think they had a fallout from that. But we were talking about Joe Budden,
Yes,
and then you said
and you know him since Mouse.
I know him since Mouse, and you mentioned that you had the song by Mickey. I'm like, oh wow, this is all like connected, man. You
It's
know what I
it's
mean?
hip hop
That's crazy.
wavelengths, bro. Because when the brother Kosan came in, we somehow we just started talking about Mickey Facts, and I was like, yeah, Mickey Facts. The fucking intro song is gonna be Mickey Facts.
Yo,
And then
man,
we
shout
started
out to
talking
Mickey.
about Budden.
Make sure y'all go sign up for Pendulum Inc. Go see what
Word
he's
up.
doing.
Check out them classes.
Real
Word.
talk,
they,
man.
They do sound interesting. Although I'm like a top tier lyricist, I would still go check it out just to see what's up.
I got you.
Get your bars up.
But tell me about the Budden connection. I'm a world renowned fan of Joe Budden. Everybody that knows me knows I fuck with Joe Budden.
Shout out-
But we got a little beef. If you see him, let him know it's all love.
Shout out to Joe Budden. I grew up with him. I met him when I was 13 years old. We went to this free summer camp in Lincoln Park in Jersey City.
So you're Jersey City birth.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Jersey City. I was born. I was actually born in Secaucus.
The Med Center.
Yeah, but then I lived in Jersey City my whole life.
Okay.
And we lived in the same neighborhood. I lived on Jewett, and he lived on Bentley. So we met at the camp in Lincoln Park when we was 13, and we were friends ever since then. And then we used to actually play ball a lot, play basketball a lot. And I remember when he first started rapping, he was calling himself Franchise
No shit.
before he called himself Joe Budden, which is his real name,
Yeah.
Joseph Budden. But he was calling himself Franchise, and also he was calling himself Chameleon before that too. Yeah,
No
he
shit.
changed, for a second he changed his name to Chameleon. But
I think every rapper has like a bad name.
God
phase.
Cast exclusive right there for those that
yeah, that's
don't
an
know.
exclusive. Yeah, that's an exclusive. So
Yeah.
we actually used to go to my man DJ Quest. He was an Egyptian kid that we used to hang out with. His name was Maher. He had a studio, and he was one of the first people we knew. This wasn't listen, we're not talking about Pro Tools. We're talking about track boards. So he was one of the first person we knew with a track board where you could multi-track on it.
Right.
So we used to go there and just, he used to make mixtapes. He said his name was DJ Quest. Y'all might know him. I don't know if y'all from Jersey City and know him, but anyway, he used to do blends and stuff like that, just
the
like
Jersey City blends.
The blends,
Sound familiar.
Yeah.
So we used to go there and Mouse, Joe Budden would record like just mixtape joints over records. You talking about spitting over vinyl?
Yeah.
We was spitting over vinyl. It wasn't like
No Serato yet.
Yeah,
Serato wasn't even invented.
No,
yet.
we was straight spitting over vinyl. We weren't getting the beats off YouTube. This was straight records. We were getting Smith and Wesson, Mobb Deep records, all this stuff, and he was spitting over the vinyl. And
Where were y'all getting y'all vinyl?
Shout out to Stan's Records. Rest in peace to Stan that ran Stan's Records, and also Wow Records in 440.
In 440, yeah.
So those were the two spots, my main spots. I used to go to Fat Beats, of course, every now and then.
No, but I meant in Jersey. There was
But-
440, which was a decent little record store. Yo,
No,
they had
dope
mixtapes, they
and
had
used
mix
and
CDs,
used stuff you could
they
buy.
Had used shit. They had white labels that you would find once in a while.
Cracker Records,
So they had posters, and then I
Cracker
don't remember
Beats.
Stan's. Where was that?
Stan's was on Bergen between Montgomery and the next block, like not going towards the square is Fairmount. It's Fairview.
Okay.
It's between Montgomery and Fairview.
I grew up in the
Stanley
Heights,
Records.
so that was too scary
That
for me over there.
Stan's
But
was
we had a joint on Central. On Central Avenue.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I used to go there too, but Stan's was the hub for Jersey City DJs. So like Nelly Nell and all them, they used to sell all their mixtapes in there.
Nice.
And Stan was very supportive of like artists and DJs in the community. So shout out to Stan.
It's not there no more, right?
Nah, rest in peace to Stanley.
Rest
After
in
he
peace to
passed
Stanley.
away, that the shop, you know.
Shout out
was
to
gone.
Arrowwax Records, keeping the record.
Word. Shout out to
culture
Learn.
alive,
Shout out to my
yo.
man Learn, man.
Doing dope shit.
We're actually trying to collaborate. We talking about doing something. I got this segment I'm working on, kind of like rhythm roulette.
Right.
Y'all ever seen that on
Yeah,
Mass
yeah,
Appeal?
of
course, absolutely.
So I got a joint.
And you can go to Arrowwax.
I call it Go Fish. So it's kind of like rhythm roulette, but you only get 30 seconds to pick whatever records.
But are they?
dope.
You know how in rhythm roulette they get to see them?
No, they go blind.
No, they go blindfold.
Oh, they go blind.
No,
Oh, that's
there's no
right.
seeing.
So I have it backwards. I was gonna say,
go
are
blindfold.
you guys gonna go?
No. We're
Okay.
not doing blindfold, but you only get 30,
But you only get 30
seconds.
seconds.
Blindfold, they don't give you a certain amount of time. You just
Right.
you go in.
you
Just
just
feel.
feel it.
Yeah.
You got 30 seconds to just scramble and be like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then make a beat on the spot there, like on the spot,
Right.
you know?
Oh, instead of taking it home.
Yeah, no, we're going to make beats right there on the spot with producers. Shout out
Dope.
to my man Learn
Dope.
at Airwax Records, man.
Dope. We look forward to seeing that, man.
what's
Word.
up. That's
That'll
what's up.
definitely be dope.
Yo, and you never do Odyssey Records in Union City?
Of course.
Okay. Odyssey Records, my first job.
That was the spot
They
right
hired me to be the dude that would name the songs on the mixtapes.
Oh, shoot.
Word.
That's
but then they
dope.
put me to do some reggae shit, and I was just making up names. I didn't know what the fuck they were saying. For real.
Shout out to the record shops, though, man.
Whenever I
Like
would
that,
even
man.
say
Facts,
it
man.
repeatedly,
The mom
like
and
the hook,
pops.
that was the name of the song. Who's the artist? Oh, Elephant Trunk. I don't know. Shit.
Word up,
there. Yo, you crazy.
Word up, yo.
You
Good times, man.
crazy.
Shout out to all the record stores. Shout out to all the DJs. Shout out
Big
to all the
time.
old school blend masters. Jersey City, I said this on a previous
Facts.
episode. Jersey City has its own style when it comes to blends and
Yeah.
mixtapes.
I tell people that all the time.
Fast vocals.
You talking about
with the
Mad
choppy-
Money, Nelly Nell, 007, Fresh
007,
Jeff.
yo. I think there's a DJ 201, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm trying to think of all the like guys that was in that era. Shout out to Quiet Man. Shout out to my boy Quiet Man. But that whole era of DJs like Nelly Nell and them, those mixtapes were classic. You know what I mean? Like they were doing blends with like hip hop beats, mixing the R&B vocals with it.
Then they would speed them up.
and they would do some
and
crazy
they're, like,
stuff with it.
Sample the same
Producer,
yo, some dope shit.
a lot of the production nowadays in the music industry replicates a lot of that Jersey City DJ vibe, where they
Facts.
take like vocals and some from one song, and then take a beat from another song, and then a drums from another track, and they blend them shits. And a lot of this stuff you hear now, like, sounds like Jersey stuff.
Yeah, Jersey is always is never credited enough for the sounds and the things that we kind of come up with as
House
far
music,
as
man.
music, house music, dances even. Jersey Club doesn't get enough love. Jersey
My
rappers
nigga was
even don't get
true,
enough.
Jersey rappers.
Don't
Yeah,
get
man.
enough love as far as just being dope. We got fucking classic as we got Redman, we got the Artifacts, we got Queen.
OGs.
Lauren
Word up.
Hill,
We got
fam.
Lauren.
Shout out to the Artifacts.
We
They
got
just
dope.
dropped a new project called Expiration Date.
Yes.
Together?
Shout out to L.
Yep.
Yep. And it's fully produced by Buckwild of DITC, bro.
Nah.
The beats are bananas. Shout out to Elder Sensei and Tame One, man.
We got an interview
Rest in
with
peace,
Elder
DJ
Sensei.
Chaos.
Yeah, we got an interview with L, and Tame One was just supposed to come up, but he wasn't able to make it. But
Man,
yeah,
shout out,
man,
y'all got to get them up
scraps.
here now. They got the new project.
Facts.
They doing promo
L
runs.
is a lot easier to book than Tame One.
Of course.
Yeah.
Tame One is the James Brown of hip hop, bro. He's the James Brown of hip hop. I got yo, real quick. I'm gonna tell you a quick story about Tame One. All right. He used to come to this spot. My man, this dude A Sharp, I used to chill with. He used to come to the spot and record. Yo, he would have literally like 6 pieces of paper, right? And all of them would all have like a bar or two on them. And he would literally hold them together, like piece them together. Like this one would have one on it, this one would have one on it, this one had 2, this one had 3, this one have 6, and whatever. And have them like, and he'd be like putting the bars together like that, yo.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
See, that goes back to what we we're saying.
process.
Everybody has their
Yeah.
own process. So they say Eminem writes his bars kind of like in a circle. So when he's rapping, he gotta
To me.
like
That's crazy.
imagine you start in
Like
the middle of the
turn it.
page Yeah, and you write in an outward circular spiral.
No wonder why he be hypnotized. He sound like he's
That's why
hypnotized.
he fucking rhymes like that. Where it up?
Yeah, that's what they
Crazy.
say.
I love Eminem, yo.
No doubt. Make sure to tap in next week as we bring you part 2 of our interview with the brother Kosan of Break A Leg Entertainment. You don't want to miss that one because he's going to share some special stories about growing up in Jersey City alongside Joe Budden. It's going to be dope. Thank you for listening to the Godcast. Peace.
So the brother Kosan has music out.
That's right.
Okay.
Let's start in the beginning. In 2014, you dropped a single called Kicking Bars. You followed that up with Can Do Anything. In 2017, you dropped Hearts on Fire. In 2019, you dropped Vanity. And in 2020, you dropped Love at First Sight. Are you still working on music?
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to my engineer, Mike Marvel. I have like 30 unreleased songs in the studio, and we're actually going to be mixing and mastering all that, putting together a few projects, mixtape, an EP, and an album, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I kind of took a break a little bit for putting out music, but I still release songs here and there. But I'm trying to put these albums together and do a whole promo run with the projects.
Did you do a lot of that recording during the what was it called, yo?
Pandemic.
Yeah, I guess, right? The pandemic, yeah.
Nah, I didn't. I actually recorded these songs before that. Like,
okay.
These are like songs that we gathered over years of working together, and we just trying to just make something out of it. Just put 3 projects together. American Ninja. Shout out to my.
Oh, wow.
That's
Michael Dudikoff. I'm the Puerto Rican Ninja.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you an idiot.
All right, well that's the name of my project.
Puerto Rican idiot. Yo, I love that movie. His name is Joe, by the way.
Yeah,
Joe.
Yeah. If you look on my Instagram page, I'm the American Ninja.
That's awesome.
That's the name of my project.
We're kindred.
Shout out to Michael Dudikoff.
I got a prelude. I got a prelude. The mixtape is called Enter the Dojo.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'm playing off some karate stuff and all that. And shout out to Urban Knight who produced a lot of the beats that I worked on for this whole project.
Urban Knight, where's he from?
Urban Knight he's a kid from Jersey City.
Young kid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know someone with a similar name. I don't remember it now. But shout out to the brother Urban Knight.
Yo, his beats are dope. Let me tell you, like when I first put out a song to one of his beats. Mm-hmm. When I was really going hard with the music, we had a label called DPS MG, and shout out to Sarge, and like when I had first put out this song Kicking Bars, mm-hmm. It was like whatever, it's on streaming sites, right. But one of Joey Badass's dudes, his name is Nick Caution, mm-hmm. He's down with Pro Error, right? Error, yeah. Pro Error, reached out to me on Twitter. He was like, "Yo, that track is hard. I want to fuck with your producer." So I tried to plug him in with the kid Urban Knight, but he kind of was like trying to not really do music like that. Okay. But he was interested in working with him, yo. Right. Like he had gave me his email. We were going back and forth, and he wanted to do stuff to his beats, man. That's dope, man. He said that he was a fan of him already. He was like, "Yo,
off one joint."
He said that he heard his beats on YouTube and didn't know who he was. He was just like rhyming with his friends at his crib to these beats. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you hear the beats, like if you play any of my records that he produced, you'll hear he has this like real like lo-fi sound, like Jay Dilla, Mad Lib kind of sound.
And the projects that you're gonna put out are all produced by him, or
no?
Mainly?
No, American Ninja is like 95% produced by Urban Knight. Okay. And then the mixtape is a mixture of original songs with some mixtape joints, like rhyming over industry beats. Okay. And then the EP is a mixture of production from Urban Knight to other people that I worked with.
But you're also working on a compilation.
Break a Leg. It's called Occupy the Culture.
Nice. So Break a Leg Entertainment, for those that are unaware, the brother Kosan does his thing musically, his own thing, and then he also has a show called Constructive Criticism where he reviews music of artists on the come up, mm-hmm. and then he has another show called OMG Out My Garage. But then also you do these live shows.
Yeah, that's what Break a Leg's main thing is, doing live events.
So you recently did one, The Ghost of Uncle Joe's. It was a Halloween. Was it a parade? Did they have a
All
parade?
right, so look, the Ghost of Uncle Joe's is what Uncle Joe's used to be a spot in Jersey City. It was a bar downtown, and a lot of the local bands used to play there. It was like a hub for the local bands.
Right.
So this thing called Ghost of Uncle Joe's is just to keep that memory going. And what it is it's a cover band event. So all the local bands cover Metallica, Def Leppard, and all this stuff. So my duty in this community is to represent the hip hop community. So
I like that you say my duty.
yeah, my duty is to represent the hip hop community, and the guy, shout out to Dancing Tony who runs the event. You know, we collaborated in 2018. I want to say in 2018, my first year doing Ghost of Uncle Joe's, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to step out our comfort box and get out of those places that we're accepted at and go in places where hip hop's not necessarily being accepted at. So that's why we did this event.
Right.
So the first year we did Bad Boy. We did all Bad Boy songs with the live band. We practiced. Me and my boy Vic Shades. Shout out to Vic Shades. Did the vocals.
Oh shit, Vic Shades.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Vic Shades.
Represent HOB.
He was Biggie and I was Diddy and Mace. I did all Diddy and Mace's stuff, and he did all Biggie stuff. And we did it with the live band in 2018, and then we decided to swing it over and do something different.
Yep.
So this year we did all native tongue songs. And we rocked out some Tribe Called Quest, Black Sheep, and
I
De La
caught
Soul
that,
songs,
man. I thought that was real
That
dope.
looked super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and we
And
just.
who's the band then? Who was the band behind you guys?
Oh, actually, this year Vic didn't do vocals. Vic played the drums. So shout out to
Oh,
Vic
that was
Shades.
him?
That was Vic Shades playing the drums. Shout out to him. Shout out to my homie Ben, Skater, was on the guitar and vocals with me. He did the Gorillaz joint. We did the Feel Good with Dove from De La Soul on it. We did the Feel Good Inc. joint. And then shout out to Roger on the bass, also from a band called Trash Executioner. Him and my guitar player. And then shout out to Leroy Green as well. Added his producer skills and DJ skills and actually vocals as well with me, and my homie Just Putt, who also did vocals with us. And to be honest with you, we only really did like 5 rehearsals, and we came together pretty well.
It looked
man.
like a good time.
That's
man.
dope.
man.
Yeah,
I
man.
got a quick question. Besides, obviously you said it's your duty to put hip hop shows on and put hip hop forefront and all
And
that.
thank you for fulfilling your duty.
Oh, absolutely.
Word.
That's amazing. But do you mess with other genres of music?
Absolutely. When I first started Break A Leg in 2015, I'm a businessman, so I you got to understand the business too. And when I first started my first show, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do all hip hop. Right. I'm going to include a live band. I'm going to have some R&B, maybe a female singer and a male singer, whatever. Right. I also had a Latino artist.
Nice.
And then I had a comedian hosting it. I wasn't hosting the show.
dope.
So I added all these elements, and like you could see like the mixture, the
Brings everybody out.
crowd that with the inclusivity, not diversity, because there's a difference. We trying to include these communities, not just be like, oh, we're supporting them. That's a difference. A lot of people try to show, oh, we're diverse, but when you actually bringing in people that are doing this stuff, that's inclusivity, and that's what my brand is all about. Is trying to include these cultures into what we're doing.
Right.
So that's what I did my first show, and and also culinary arts. And art and live art. So we were having somebody come, like say Mustard. Shout out to Mustard. Shout out to Distort. Shout out to all the graffiti artists, Animal Crackers. Shout out to all the graffiti artists and artists in the community. We used to have somebody come and do live paintings and try to auction off the piece there and have vendors as well, and then also have a chef. We used to have like a featured chef come and make food. You know what I mean? So
everybody love to eat.
Yeah, man. So that's how I started my shows at Cafe Soleil. Shout out to Frank, who's a black business owner. I want to mention that because a lot of minority businesses were the only ones that gave me my first shots. So shout out to Joe McBride from Jordan's Lounge that used to be downtown in Jersey City. Was the first person to give me my shot at doing events, not Break a Leg, just hosting events as Kosan. And then Frank from Cafe Soleil, who gave me my next shot, which I was there for 5 years under the radar doing underground hip hop shows.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And, And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to build my brand the way I did.
Right.
He gave me a beautiful space that's now a Mexican restaurant, 496 Communicable Avenue. It's now a Mexican restaurant, but man, he gave us a beautiful space for 5 years.
He gave you a chance, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a chance.
Exactly.
You know, whether you succeed or fail is on you. But
Yeah.
a lot of people need a chance to.
And
at
shout out
least
to
get
Mickey
some-
Fax again, because the last show we did there, 4/20, 2019, I think it was. Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2019. Yeah, 420 was our last event there.
Right before the pandemic.
Yeah, it was a year before the pandemic. A year before it. Mickey Fax came out and we rocked Cafe Soleil one last time, man.
That's
It
awesome,
was
bro.
crazy
Good
in there.
brother.
Ren Thomas came out. Shout out to Ren Thomas.
Oh shit! I thought you said Frank Thomas. I was like, what, Frank Thomas? But you're still doing shows because so far this year I saw you did not only the Ghost of Uncle Joe's, rest in peace to the brother Joe. You did the Fall Festival. You had something called a jam called Tribe. That was similar to the Uncle Joe thing.
No, shout out
Or that
to
was the same thing?
No, I wasn't part of that event, but my homegirl, I was like helping them out, like promote it. Shout out to my homegirl, Jay LaRock, and they're a B Girl crew.
Okay.
You know, they shout out to MBK.
wow.
Shout out to MBK. Natural,
Based out of Jersey?
Out of Jersey City.
Okay.
Shout out to MBK. Natural Born Killers is a B-boy crew from B-boy girl crew from Jersey City. So shout out to Jay LaRock and Lady Adios that put that event together.
And which event was this one? The Fall Festival or the Jam Called Tribe?
No, the Jam Code Tribe.
Okay.
The Fall Festival was actually something I put together. Shout out to the Bethune Center. I'm working with the Bethune Center, which is in the middle of the hood. Yes, that's right. We did a whole tour called We Outside, the historical hip hop tour this summer in August. 3 events we did in August. It was all outside. The first one we did was in Barrel Mansion, downtown Jersey City, on the porch of Barrel Mansion. The second one we did was in Grove Street, Groove on Grove. And these are all hip hop days we're doing. These events don't necessarily have hip hop on their shows. So we did all hip hop days at these events. Like I said, we're stepping out of our comfort zone and we're going places where hip hop ain't necessarily going. And we're trying to bring that culture to these people and show them that it's not just kill, shoot 'em, bang, bang either. You know what I'm saying? Like the artists we're bringing, I'm talking about bringing people that got a doctorate degree, that are rappers in our community that are influential. We talking about people that are professors, that are teaching kids in school, and also are part-time rappers on the side of that and performers on the side of that. So that's what we did. And then we did Bethune Center also that in August. So shout out to Chelsea and Mr. Pettit from the Bethune Center, because I've been trying to shed light on that side of town, which is is on MLK. You know what I mean? In the hood. And that's where we bringing it. We trying to bring that positive energy where it's needed the most. It ain't about just going where, you know, it's safe at and stuff like that. People like, oh, you doing a hip hop show down there. It's crazy, you know, but listen, it doesn't matter. You know, people came up to us and was like, they're happy that we're doing this stuff there because we're bringing inspiration around and positive energy around to these people, man. That they're
and like
looking
you said,
for
they
it.
need it the most. How
Need it
often
the
are they
most, man.
shunned and just disenfranchised because of
everybody's
where
downtown.
they're
And
born,
you're also getting rid of the stigma that like all rappers are violent killers and drug dealers and all that shit.
That's what
These
we try
dudes,
to
like you
stress,
said,
man.
They're educated. They're fucking
Yo, a
smart,
matter of
they're
fact,
articulate.
Shout out to my man Booker, Bridges Project. He's a Hudson County sheriff. He grew up in Jersey City. He's a Jersey City head. He grew up in Jersey City and he raps. And he's not like, oh, it's like, oh, he's a cop. He's rapping about being a cop. Nah, this dude could rap, yo. Nah, straight up.
Wait, his name is Bookham?
Yes,
His real name is Bookham?
No, that's his
Oh.
rap name. That's his rap name.
And he's a cop?
Yeah, and he's
he
a
be
Hudson
booking
County
cats.
sheriff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
No, y'all, you know what?
all
I
about
gotta
the
introduce y'all to him.
Yeah,
man.
please.
You gotta bring him up here, bro.
Hell yeah.
Bookham
If
is
he's
a
doing
dope,
positive stuff, hell
and he's
yeah.
a dope rapper. It's
Dope.
not like he's just rapping about being a cop
You
or
know,
corny
I
stuff. Like
wouldn't,
he's spitting bars, yo.
I wouldn't be
That's crazy.
super against a cop rapping about being a cop because if you imagine that's a perspective we never
Well, he
get.
does tell
That's the thing,
stories. He does have songs where he tells stories about like cops.
Yeah,
and
I'd listen to that.
Yeah, he does, and he does it in a serious way.
Yeah.
Like he's telling like real serious stories about cops' altercations with people and vice versa.
It might be,
Right.
yeah.
We
it-
just
it
never
might
get
be
the
dope
cop
to
side.
bridge that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be dope for people to get that perspective because
Big facts.
they
Yeah, we
can
got to
see
bring
where
Book
he's
him up
coming
here,
from,
man.
you know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna hook y'all up
We're
here, man.
definitely
That would be dope. That would
real.
be dope.
for the new
But
year.
that's the type of-
we're booked for the end. Like this year's over for us,
Yeah.
but definitely for the new year, we got to get.
But
L
like you
back.
said,
We'll
man,
take Book
I'm
him,
trying to
absolutely.
keep that. I'm trying to keep that taste out of people's mouths, man. Because a lot of people, when we was coming up, you talking about the Coliseum, they had to close the Coliseum down because they used to have Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep there at the Coliseum, and there used to be violence. You know, and the Boys Club, they used to have shows at the Boys Club, and there used to be violence.
Does
so
the Boys Club still exist?
no, the Boys Club is
That's something
gone.
do those summer camps that you mentioned where you met Joe Budden at still exist?
Nah, those free programs don't exist anymore.
There's a lot of things that we had coming up that don't exist anymore, and for that reason, these kids are missing a lot of
Missing it.
resources, and they end up
Missing it.
where we don't want them to go. You know, they take
I used to
that
be able to
skate
hang out the
turn.
YMCA all day and
Even
play
that,
basketball,
yeah.
go swimming, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have that anymore. So,
It's
yeah,
not like
man, I
that.
mean, but those places, like I said, when you
But
did
thank
shows.
you for offering them an alternative because there's not many alternatives
Yeah, because
given
people,
to them nowadays.
well, people think, like I said, people think of violence and all this stuff when they think of hip hop. So I'm trying to bring a different vibe where it's not like we all here like being like super sensitive. You know what I mean? It's still got some hardcore elements to the songs and the music, but you know, we're just not. It doesn't have to be kill, shoot, and bang.
Yeah.
it can still be hard. And the beat can still be hard. The
And
lyrics
real.
can still be hard
Yeah.
and real.
and it can be authentic.
Right. And it doesn't have
Well,
to be about
Even
being a
even
drug
like what you're
dealer or
doing-
something like that.
Yeah, even like what
that
you're
song
doing with the
so-
live
so authentic.
performances, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like an unplugged situation. Like a kid sees that and be like, "Damn, I didn't know like you could rap over like a live beat over instrumentation." Anybody sees it like, "Damn, I thought you used to have to get like an MPC or whatever to make beats." They could get into drumming or they could get into percussion or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great
Yo,
point,
you-
bro. You never know what you get into
Open up
until
your
it's put in
mind.
front of you, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
And the kids
that
love the
looks
live
cool.
instruments.
Yeah, hell
Of
yeah.
course.
I never
So
met
dope.
do.
Yo, you know what's
I
funny?
love that shit.
You want to hear what's funny? That day we did the show with the band on Pedestrian Plaza
Uh-huh.
in front by Morley's.
Shout out to Morty's.
It was a bunch of kids out there. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
They have a bouncy house right next to the
Right.
stage. There's a bunch of kids out there. So my band is worried about us doing hip hop with kids. So they put on, we were supposed to go first. They put on these girls that came dressed like Disney characters and started singing Disney.
I feel like they got
So-
booed.
So check it out. So my boys that were with me, they're like, "Yo, what we gonna do?" I said, "Don't worry, yo, I got this. I'm gonna put my Disney voice on." So when I went up there, I'm like, "Look, I'm a father, man. So I'm just let my father instincts kick in." So
Yeah.
so what I did was I just played off the kids, like, "Yo, what's up, kids? You guys like music?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "You like colors?" And they were like, "Yeah." Well, this band right here that we're about to play, Native Tongues, is a collection of colorful individuals that do music. What's your favorite color? So the kids like, green, whatever. So my boys looked at me like, "Oh yeah, you got that, bro." So one of the songs was Flavor of the Month, right? So after we finished, I'm like, "Yo, right now I feel like eating some ice cream." So I told, "Yo, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?" And the kids was like going crazy, yo. So you know what I mean? You can't
I
never.
heard
That's
you
a
got
good
the
MC,
feel for
bro.
the flavor.
That's
Word
good
up.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
man.
And adapting to your audience. You know, you're not always gonna be in front of 100 hip hop enthusiasts, lyric fucking fans.
That's
You
what we
might-
do,
yeah,
man. That's what we do, man.
exactly.
That's
you
what we
adapt
do.
and you overcome and
That's
you
what we
kick
do,
ass no matter
man.
Where you at?
That's what we do.
Now you got
man.
something else going on, and it's called the Cypher Lounge.
Oh.
Is that something that happens like?
Well, actually, shout out to my homie Son Low. I put that together with him. We doing that out in Central Jersey, in Highland Park down by New Brunswick and stuff. And we're actually planning another one for January. So yeah, you know, we're just bringing out some artists that represent our brands to come out and rock. Shout out to the Low Lives. Shout out to Son Low Ayak, Low Life General. Shout out to the whole Low Life community, man, for
They
support.
part of like the PJC.
Yeah, shout out, yeah, man. Shout out to PJC.
Yeah, up here yesterday.
That's a chapter of Low Life. Yep, absolutely. Shout out to them.
Yesterday, yeah.
And you know, they're very supportive of the hip hop community. They have come to a lot of my shows and packed the house. So shout out to the Low Life community that's very supportive of the hip hop. You want those brothers in your corner, you know what I mean? Because they're very supportive of the hip hop community, man. So shout out to Rack Low, shout out to Sun Low. Thurston Howell, the big bro, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Max Low.
Word up, shout out to Max Low. Max Low goes to you see him everywhere.
Yeah.
That dude
He was here yesterday.
Yeah,
oh,
we
man.
just interviewed him.
That's your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Max knows me, man. Tell him I was here, man. That's my bro. He used to come and hang out with me and my man Sarge, man, at the crib.
We was talking about Sarge yesterday.
Yeah. He used to hang out with me and my man Sarge. And you know what's funny? I was at like a Conway show and I bumped into Max. And I was bugging out because I was on shrooms and shit. But I remember bumping into him and shit, and he was like bugging out with me and shit.
Yeah, Max good people, man. Shout out to Eardrum Thump Radio on AMP. That's Max's radio show. Make sure y'all check that out. I believe he has a show either yesterday or today.
Hold on, I want to go back to the fact.
He had it on this morning.
Yeah, I want to go back to the fact that you were on shrooms at a Conway show.
Yo, you want to hear something crazy?
Conway look regular to him.
Nah. Yo, shout out to my man Pip James. Me and my man Pip James, Outsiders. Shout out to the Outsiders. We was doing some shrooms, and the crazy part is that, yeah, man, yo, I thought Conway's face was like changing shapes.
Yeah, I told you.
Like his face was like shape shifting, and
oh shit.
you know what's crazy is, I already knew Rome Streets. Shout out to Rome Streets.
He's a beast.
Shout out to Rome Streets. Rome Streets was on our show since 2017. We had him come to Jersey City. So shout out to Rome Streets. And actually, Rome Streets was there. And me and my man Pit James was there. And then actually, Planet Asia was there.
Oh, I fuck with him.
And
where was this
show?
show?
And Cambada. Y'all know Cambada? Y'all fuck with Cambada? Oh, y'all got to check Cambada out. He's a dope artist, man.
Where was this show?
So this was at the old Highland Ballroom. Remember Highland Ballroom?
Yeah.
This was at Highland. Crime Apple was there. Shout out to DJ Brown, of course.
Yeah.
Turntablism, the
Shout
classic.
out to Fungus Beverages. The brother F records Crime Apple.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
Oh, word, man. Shout out to Crime Apple. Shout out to Buck Dudley, my man Dianetics that produces for Crime Apple.
Okay.
And we was at the show. We was bugging out, and then that we ended up being in the somehow we ended up being in the studio in Brooklyn with Planet Asia and Cambada and my man Pip James.
No shit.
And that's how we really became close with Rome Streets, like that night, because we were hanging out with him as well. And I just remember, like, how did we get to the studio with Planet Asia? I was just thinking in my head, like, bugging out.
He was on shrooms.
Those are like great.
These guys was doing DMT.
Nights,
they was hitting like a DMT vape, man.
Yeah.
They got a plug for that shit?
They had a vape, a
I'm
DMT
dying of
vape.
DMT.
Yeah,
I told you about that shit.
yeah.
Let's
Like I
do
said,
it,
I'm
bro.
dying of DMT.
Hell
I'm
yeah,
going
man.
high on that shit.
Yeah,
bit of
I
death,
think
ain't
everybody
nothing
got
wrong
to do
with
that.
We go Death, baby. Let's do that shit.
Yeah, niggas.
But back to the Rome Streets thing. Shout out to Rome Streets, because we had him on a lot of shows from 2017 to 20 to 2020, right before COVID hit. We had him on a lot of shows.
Really?
Shout out to his manager Sean, Bad Influence. That was their brand, Bad Influence. That's still their brand. I did a tour date with 38 Special. Shout out to 38 Special.
Shout out to Special.
Real humble dude, man. Shout out to 38 Special, man. We did a tour date with him for 6 shots, and then we had him in Jersey City at the Spot FM bar, and Rome Streets opened up for him, and that's how, like, Rome Streets. Yo, listen, Griselda was watching Rome since 2017. Right. They had people from their camp at Cafe Soleil, right, at this little hole in the wall spot that I was doing shows at. They had people
was watching him before they signed him like that. Like, wow.
Yeah, since 2017. This dude Papa Nix. Shout out to Papa Nix. He was the first person that we hooked up with from Griselda, because our homeboy Paperface was actually doing art and stuff and animation for like Spash and Benny the Butcher and all them. And So we hooked up with them through that, and then we opened up and we took the Animal Crackers. Shout out to my homies, the Animal Crackers. We took the Animal Crackers and Pip James to Trenton, and we opened up for Benny the Butcher and Spesh out there in Trenton. And then that's how we linked up with Spesh and brought him out to Jersey City. And again, man, you know what I mean? Like Rome plugged in, and he was already plugged in with Griselda, but that just gave him extra push because he started doing songs with Spesh. And now look at him. He's under West Side Gun's arm, man. Like,
he's a
congratulations
beast,
to Rome. I take no credit for getting him signed. I'm not even trying to say that. But what I'm trying to say is Break a Leg has their ear to the streets when it comes to the artists coming up. Shout out to Ill Conscious and Dirt Platoon and all these guys from Baltimore. Watch out for those guys. Those guys.
Like you was fucking them before. Yeah, you was fucking with him before he blew up.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them. Those guys are the next up, man. Especially Ill Conscious and Dirt Platoon and Guy Grams. Those and Jay Royale. Man, those guys already got a following, and they underground.
Jay Royale is real dope. I fuck with Jay Royale.
And man, we did a couple shows with them guys, man. You know what I mean? So I mean, listen, it's all hip hop. We just trying to bring it out, like this dude Fly Anakin. I don't know if y'all know who Fly Anakin is, but we was actually supposed to do a tour date with him before people knew who he was. Right. He ended up canceling it because his show in Philly didn't sell tickets, so he was just like, I didn't want to even come to that side of the country, you know what I mean, or whatever. He's from Virginia, by the way, but shout out to Fly Anakin, man. He's doing his thing too, man.
Now you have an undying love for hip hop that is visible. Do you remember where that started?
Yeah, absolutely.
And shout out to our neighbor who's on his drum shit today.
For real.
The first time I really got into hip hop was Planet Rock, Africa Bambaataa.
On wax?
Yeah.
Or the video? Was there a video?
I used to no, but I didn't have that technology.
No.
I didn't have that technology. What we used to do was we used to go to Pathmark, and Pathmark used to sell 45s. They used to sell singles. It's crazy. They used to have a wall full of records at Pathmark.
No shit.
At 440, yo. When my mom used to go food shopping, and I used to literally go and just, check out whatever.
Yeah.
I used to buy a record every time I went there. I had a collection of 45s, and Africa Bambaataa, Planet Rock. I got that on a 45, man, and I was like,
had you heard it? Or did you like?
No, I heard it on the record.
That's what I mean.
You
bought it like
I didn't.
Was like, what
I
the
wasn't allowed to listen to radio or stuff like that.
Right. So,
I just like, Planet Rock. What's that? I thought it was rock. To be honest with you,
right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know what it was, and then I played it, and I started trying to break dance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
made you want to break dance.
That was my first.
Right away.
That was my first encounter with hip hop.
Still sounds good, bro.
Yeah.
Planet Rock, if you still play it now and you play that shit loud,
word up, man. Shout out to shout out to that whole
and right
movement.
there, that shit just birthed the addiction right there.
Birth to my addiction.
How many times did you play that record?
A million. They would have got 1 million Spotify views over it.
If you alone.
Shout out to the whole Zulu Nation.
Shout out to the whole Zulu Nation, man. Shout out to Big Jeff, Zulu Jeff, man. This is my big homie. That's my big bro, a promoter that's done so much legendary stuff. Like that guy, when I'm with him, he'll just be chilling there, and he could just call Jay-Z, he could call Nas, he could call Wu-Tang Clan, Big Jeff, man. And shout out to him, man. He's man, he's an OG in the culture, and he's done so many events. He's a promoter. He's one of the hosts of Toka Tuesdays. You know what I mean? So shout out to Sin Rose, shout out to Daddy Castro, shout out to Tony Touch, shout out to the whole Toka Tuesdays.
Shout out to the brother B-Y.
I was gonna say, you fuck with B-Wise.
Yeah, shout out to Wise, man. That's my bro, man. And shout out to Becky, the party after the party. They throw dope events in New York. Make sure y'all go check out what they doing, man. I used to go to Toka Tuesdays religiously. If y'all wondering how I networked with them, not y'all, I'm talking about people listening, how I networked with people. I met Static Selector and all these guys at Toka Tuesdays, just chilling. Joey Badass and all these guys. You talking about Pete Rock, you know what I mean? And all these guys there at Toka Tuesdays, man. And
Toka Tuesday is still active.
Yeah.
Still active.
I don't know if it's as buzzing as it was.
It still is. They still doing their thing. They're still doing their thing. Shout out to Toka Tuesdays, man. I'm trying to bring that to Jersey. So we working on that. You know what I mean? We trying to bring that vibe to Jersey, man.
That shit'll be big.
But yeah, man, I mean, just going to shows myself,
Do you
going
still
to
have
events.
the 45s?
My mom might still have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom
do you
might still.
collect vinyl still or not at all?
We do, yeah. I have me and my lady have mad vinyl at the house.
Yeah. It's
and
different.
Now
the sound is different.
now what I do is I collect vinyl that that's dropping now, or I try to find gems. Like I got Nipsey Hussle's last album on vinyl,
Nice.
The Victory Lap.
Right.
I got that on vinyl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got Nas and Kanye's joint on vinyl.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I got Mickey Fact's Achievement on vinyl, and he signed it for me. You know what I mean? I got Chill Rob G. I got The Power, the original, on vinyl, and he signed it for me.
Yeah.
I got Elder Sensei's project on vinyl, his first solo album on vinyl, and he signed it for me. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean,
you display them?
They said
You display them?
no, they're in my crib.
Oh, then
They're in my crib. I mean, they're on my shelf in my crib, but I definitely should get some frames, put them up on the wall.
Those are all collector's editions.
Exactly.
And shit.
You have a little gallery of your own history.
It's all hip hop, man. Like I said, going back to Joe Budden, me and him being friends, and seeing that manifest, seeing him spit a rhyme for DMX on the corner of Bentley and Westside in Jersey City.
Yo, did y'all know they shot Belly in Jersey City?
What part?
I'll show you the scenes. Remember when Nas went to DMX's house? I mean, DMX went to Nas's house and they were talking in front of the crib? That was on Bentley Avenue. And then remember when they were in the backyard talking?
Yeah.
That was on Bentley Avenue.
No shit.
When it was in the whip. When they was in the whip or some shit.
That was also in Jersey City. When they was in the whip, they was on Kennedy Boulevard by Stuyvesant Avenue. You know what I mean?
Really?
But the one I'm talking about was when they were standing in front of the crib. It was like a red brick house, brown brick house.
Where DMX
I can show you the exact house
DMX
on Bentley.
says when at the end where he's like
it's
when it
on
rains,
shit.
no, when it rains, niggas get wet.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was
okay,
talking
okay,
about
okay.
the feds about to run down on the crib and stuff. He
See,
told
I
he had
never
to
knew that shit.
he had to talk in person.
I never knew that either.
So
That's what's up.
we was there. So me and Joe Budden was friends again, and we were there in person when they were shooting Belly. And we actually just came from playing basketball. Lincoln Park was right there. We came from playing, and Joe Budden lives on the corner of the place where they're shooting the movie. So when I walked him to his crib, they had the block cut off, and we asked Dewey, what y'all doing? It was like, we shooting a movie with Hype Williams and Method Man and all these people. Nobody knew the name and nothing yet.
Right.
So I bet. So I run to the crib. I get fresh.
Yeah,
Run to the crib. He goes upstairs.
Quick.
I come back. Mind you, I got the Sony. We're carrying around the cassette player. Like I'm carrying around the Sony boombox. I still got the Sony at the crib. You know what I mean?
Joint.
We had his demo in my Sony. Now the whole day we trying to get in DMX's ear, Nas's ear. Like, yo, listen to this demo. We actually at one point they had took a break and DMX and Nas went up the block and they had it blocked off. Me and him, if I recall, we hopped the fence to get up the block and we were across the street from Nas and DMX. We didn't want to run over there and get bum rushed by the security guard.
Yeah.
So we just yelling at them like, yo, we got this demo, yo, we trying to let y'all hear. I mean, so we just spent the whole day trying to get them to hear the demo.
Trying to get their attention and shit.
Then at the end of the day, it just happened organically. Joe Budden, Mouse, we called him at the time, my homeboy Dre, shout out to my man Dre, and another dude, I don't know the guy, he wasn't a friend of mine, but they were spitting, they was having a cipher, and they was shooting a scene of the block, nobody could be there. You know what I mean? Like it was private, it was in the backyard. So we were just down the block chilling. So they started a cipher. Dude, man, that was managing DMX at the time. I think it was Grease. Grease from Vacant Lot or whatever, or some type
shout
of.
out to Grease.
I think he was managing DMX at the time. He came down the block and heard them rapping, so he stopped. So he started listening to them. So the one dude he told to stop rapping, he was like, you sound like Wu-Tang, but that's not what we're looking for right now. So he told him to step off. So Mouse and Dre kept rapping. Now, mind you, Dre could spit off the head. So my man Dre stayed in the mix because he just freestyling. He's coming off with bars off the head. Mouse is spitting written stuff. He's more of like Joe Budden was more like a written rhymer, but he had a mad rhymes memorized. So he's just spitting bars. So by the time DMX was walking down the block finishing the scene, Dude was like, all right, yo, Dre. He didn't know his name, but he told Dre to stop rapping. He said, yo, I want you to spit a rhyme for DMX. So DMX stopped there. He told X to listen, yo, I want you to hear this kid. And Joe Budden spit a verse for DMX. And then, of course, DMX shut it down and spit a verse. Yeah.
Of course.
But after that, dude gave us DMX's two-way number at the time. There wasn't no cell phones. Yeah. He gave us his two-way number at the time. And that was his foot in the door to Def Jam.
No shit.
We would spend Fridays I've
never heard this story.
Word.
We would spend Fridays.
Nobody has.
He doesn't tell the story. Yeah. It would give me too much credit. You know what I mean? But I love Joe Budden. Shout out to him, man. But we used to spend Fridays sometimes at his crib, hitting him up on his two-way, leaving the messages like, yo, this is Joe Budden. This is Mouse. This is Mouse from Jersey City. The dude who rapped on the corner, blah, blah, blah. So again, they wanted to hear music. So until he started working with Dub B, shout out to Dub B, white boy from Bayonne, Ezra.
He was from Bayonne?
Yeah, shout out to Ezra. Shit. That's when he came up with Focus.
Right.
And that was it. He was on the show. He got really Def Jam's attention at 16 years old. That was 96, yo. We were 16 years old, so Def Jam was interested in him at 16 years old, man.
Yeah, because he blew up like in 99, right? Or am I bugging? 2000?
Yeah, his album came out in 99.
Yeah,
98, 99. Yeah. Joe Budden, the first album.
So
that's crazy.
So you've been kind of exposing new artists for a while. If we, considering that story, right?
Nah, word up. I mean, I used to manage artists, Shout out to all the artists I used to work with. We had a label again called DPSMG. Shout out to Sarge. We had a bunch of artists that we were managing. Listen, I'll tell y'all something right now. Shout out to Crime Apple. This ain't no diss at him, but he used to be called Vasco. His name was Vasco back in the days. I used to hang out with him. PG, Physical Graffiti. She's from Union City too. Shout out to the whole hip hop scene out here. Who else was out here? Earl Grey, Physical Graffiti, Vasco, who is Crime Apple now. Shout out to Henry Quester. They all were like that was the hip hop scene in Union City, and they had a dope scene. And Sarge actually had Vasco, Crime Apple, signed to DPSMG at one point.
No shit.
Sarge was managing him at one point. Yeah, not for a long time, but they were actually working together. Sarge and Vasco, Crime Apple. His name is Crime Apple now. So shout out to Crime Apple, man. I mean, Dianetics, Buck Dudley, his producer, he used to call himself Dianetics, used to make beats for Sarge and stuff. So yeah, man, shout out to those dudes, man. I got nothing but love for DJ Brown and all these dudes, man.
Yes, shout out DJ Brown, of course. Shout out Crime Apple.
Turntablism, man.
Shout out to the brother Professor, our neighbor, also doing dope things, big things.
For real.
He's not the one man beating the drums. It's a different.
Hey, yo, I was on Turntablism as an artist.
Yeah?
You know what I mean? Yeah, shout out to DJ Brown. They had me on there like spitting and whatever, man.
So talk to me about your show now where your focus is reviewing music submitted by artists. It's called Constructive Criticism. And also let us know how an artist can submit to your show.
So we're actually not doing the show actively right now. But we do have like up to 43 episodes of the show we did.
Are you going to bring it back though?
What we're actually thinking about is bringing it back and doing it live in person. Ooh. So where not only do we review your song, but we review your performance as well. You know what I mean?
How honest are you?
Very honest.
You don't think that might be a little like
No, but we're not disrespectful.
It's constructive.
No, that's why it's called constructive criticism.
Okay.
So we have a point system, which is legs. Now, if you look on your phone and your emojis, there's legs there. There's a chicken leg, there's a human leg, and there's a robot leg. So we use those legs as our grading system. So our people our comment section was popping, man. We had thousands of comments during the live shows,
right?
Live comments. So people would jump in there and be grading
so
the
how
songs.
does the order go? The legs. How does
this is how it goes. So it's basically a 5-point system. You get it's 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. But the legs is different. So the chicken leg is flavor. If your song got flavor and you got swag, the chicken leg, right? The human leg is if you put work in and it sound like, you know what I mean, you went hard on it. The robot leg is like, yo, this joint is tough. This is just hard. You know what I mean? This is hard body. So you know, you can mix them up. You could give somebody 2 robot legs and a chicken leg and a foot, which is like a half of a leg. You know what I'm saying? So that's 3.5.
Yo, I love this.
You know what I mean?
I love
But the max is 5.
5, yeah. So
I love
yo,
this.
let me tell y'all.
So if you get 5 robot legs, your shit is just
it's fire.
fire. Yeah.
So yo, let me tell y'all.
Mike's
Let me tell y'all a story. So we used to have guest hosts, and one day we had Ren Thomas. Shout out to Ren Thomas on there. He was guest hosting with us, and this dude sent in a beat. It was just a beat, right? So we played it, and you know, it sounded amateur,
Right.
And that's not disrespectful.
No.
You know what I mean? It sounded amateur. So, yo, everybody was going in the comments, though. Oh, this sound like some aquatic life type shit, yo. Like, it sound like, yo, you at the aquarium.
Because the commenters don't have to be respectful.
Yo,
They can say whatever.
dude said they sound like submarine music, so people was going in. But you know, our point system is legs.
Yeah.
So Ren Thomas,
dope.
instead of saying legs, Ren Thomas said, yo, I give that a syphilis hand. Because he was like, it was kind of trash. You know what I mean? Now listen, it's criticism, whatever. So yo, the dude that we critiqued, yo, the next morning I wake up and I got DMs in my voice messages in my DM in my Instagram. Yo, dude goes in. Yo, F y'all, forget all y'all Jersey people. Y'all just don't know music. Y'all a bunch of clowns. Yo, he went in, and that dude that called me, that gave me the syphilis hand, fuck that fat faggot, and all this stuff. So you know what I did? I knew he was gonna erase it, so I screen recorded it right away.
Right.
So I screen recorded it right away. Right. So I called my engineer, who was my co-host. Shout out to Carvo, who was my co-host on the show, who was Mickey Fax's engineer. He was my co-host, and I had him on there because he's an engineer. He's got a different ear than mine.
Right.
I'm a rapper.
Right.
I'm an artist. He's an engineer.
You
So
can have a fire song lyrically, but
but
the audio
he was like,
quality
nah,
could be
exactly.
off.
His ear was different. So I called him. I was like, yo, bro, check this out. So I sent him the audio. He gets real. He's dying laughing. We got thick skin. We don't care about that. So he went in like he was killing us. So anyway,
You made that the intro.
so
to the
we
next
made it
episode.
the intro to the next show, bro. We made it
shit.
the intro to the next show, bro.
Hell
And
yeah.
actually, I hit up Ren Thomas, and I told him, and I sent it to him. And Ren was like, yo, can I use that as an interlude on my album? I was like, hell yeah, bro, go ahead. I hope he does. I hope he does.
dope.
But yo, we literally used it as an intro to the next
awesome.
show,
Hell yeah.
and we addressed it. We addressed it. You know what I mean? Like, yo, listen, dude, ain't no hard feelings, man. Like, you know, like
It's not personal.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
you don't know
personal.
him.
I'm sorry people made a joke out of your work. It wasn't meant like that. You know what I mean? But like, yo,
But it's also the internet. You can give a constructive criticism full of respect and
Word up.
You know, let him know that his stuff needs work. But the comments don't give a fuck.
Nah,
They don't got no
exactly.
rules
Exactly,
to abide
man.
by. They gonna call
Exactly,
them
man.
trash.
Aquatic life.
And you know you got room to grow and you got opportunities if the masses ain't fucking with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I take
You
that
can't
as
take that shit
motivation, bro.
personally.
To me personally, if somebody gives me that type of critique, you know what I mean? I take that as
Oh, I gotta go back to the drawing
Yeah,
board.
that's
let,
it, man.
Let that
Exactly.
fuck you attitude come out
Exactly.
in the next beat.
Exactly.
How about
Hey man, but you got to bring that show back, man. You got to bring it back. We got something
live
similar
would
that
be
we was doing.
interesting.
That's why we did it. So we did it live. We actually brought the artist in. Like the artists were in the video with us.
Yeah.
So the artist that the song we're playing, we played it in front of them. They're there with us. We gave them the criticism to their face. This ain't no like, oh, we're just saying it and you're listening in.
Yeah.
No, we brought you in and we did it right to your face. We played the song
And was there any
never was any altercations,
No?
nothing
Okay.
like that, or like no fights like that. You know, people had looked a little salty sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. We started it because, you know, my brand strived off of events, live in-person events, and we couldn't do it during COVID. Everything was closed. So we actually was like, you know what? Let's just go on Instagram and just review artist music.
Yeah.
And we got a big like outpour of people who wanted us to review
everybody
their
needed
songs.
content, bro.
So it was.
Everybody needed to be
Shout out to my
entertained.
man Imperative from Canada. We had people from Canada tuning in, from Cali. Shout out to my homies Ransom and Merc One from Cali. We met people and we became became brothers over COVID with these cats. We built
hip-hop.
We built a constructive criticism community, and we still have a chat actually that we have on Instagram of people that were included in that. You know what I mean? And we just wanted to have give everyone a platform to feel like they're still active and doing something. So that was the purpose of that during COVID.
And you're uniting people. You never know.
Bringing people together with hip hop.
Even in the comment section, that people could network and link.
That's what happened. And listen, artists. We had a dude from Italy that was tuned in every week that was sending us music. His producer was from Baltimore. We had dudes from Cali and Canada. All these dudes now done collaborated and made the dude from Italy made songs with the dude from Cali. Yeah. My man's in them from Jersey made songs with the dudes from Canada and Cali. Like we just built this crazy bond during COVID, man.
You continue to spread hip hop.
We had Mickey Fax
and United.
Yeah, we had Mickey Fax on there reviewing the songs with us. We had Do It All from Lords of the Underground. Shout out to Councilman Kelly Dupree.
Word up. Shout out to Brick City.
Shout out to Psycho Les from fucking Beat Nuts was on there.
Wow.
We had Royal Flush on there. We had Capone, and he brought Nori on the show for a second.
Stop it.
We had I'm trying to think who else. We had Big Jeff on there. We had DJ J Ronan on there. And the list goes on of special guests that we had on there that reviewed the songs with us. We actually had the son of Kenny Whitehead and McFadden. You know who they are? They're the writers. Yeah. They're the writers from Motown.
R&B writers.
Yeah. They were writers from Motown. They wrote all like "Ain't No Stopping Us Now." Their son is a writer too and a background singer. He sang for Changing Faces, R. Kelly. Nice. He did all these background vocals and wrote songs for all these people. He was on the show and did reviews with us. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So
that's fucking crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
And everything is on some positive shit.
Yeah. Like, positive, man. And
again, the uniting of hip hop from all these regions. You know, it's still beautiful, and it's nice to see the internet when it's used for some spreading of some positivity, because normally it's
we had people from Africa tuning in and France and England and Italy. Like I said, it's crazy, man.
It still amazes me sometimes when you think about it, because when we were young, no matter what you did, your reach was but so far. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And now to just be able to be global at any
touch the world,
fucking time you want,
basically.
And that helped my brand grow. Now Break A Leg ain't just a local tri-state thing.
Yeah.
Now people in Canada know my brand, you know, people in Italy know my brand. So, I mean, shout out to y'all, the people who influenced this podcast world, you know, because I love podcasts. You know, I think it's a great way for anyone who could turn a hobby or something that they love into information, something informative for people, whether it be a talent or a skill that you're talking about, or something that you're spreading the word that you're spreading about the hip hop culture, or the debates that you're having that's talking about current events or anything like that. You know, it's like there's always something out there trying to learn or trying to absorb this stuff, man.
And
at the end of the day, it's been way more positive than anything else, man. Like,
absolutely,
it's been real dope. Like you said, like I feel like, I mean, maybe we didn't bridge artists together, but like we interviewed, for example, Ito from Upstate, and now he's doing a track with like Cortez from BK and like, you know, Crisis from the BX. And we interviewed all these people.
It's crazy.
And like, you know, it feels like we're bridging stuff. And even if it's not directly from us, it's still dope to see. You know what I mean?
Right. Yo, shout out to Jay Rios and Mobeen again. Loyal Dynasty fam. Loyal Dynasty fam. Loyal Dynasty fam.
All day.
Shout out to Mobeen connecting people, man.
Good brothers, bro. I only met Mo and Jay that day. Like, that was my first time meeting them.
Yeah.
And I haven't met them again.
Yeah.
But, just good brothers. They've been showing us nothing but love since day one.
For real.
The brother Mo Green, Loyal Dynasty family, he connected us with a lot of dope people, yourself included.
We used to hang out at the barbershop. That's how I know Mo.
Not Sweet's barbershop.
Downtown on Grove Street.
Shout out to Sweet, man.
Yeah, word up, man. I used to hang out with my man Pat. My man Pat used to hang out there all the time, man. That's how I met Mobeen. And then, you know, I messed with his brand. He used to support what me and Sarge were doing a lot during DPS times, and he's always been supportive, man. He's the one that connected. He's the one that connected me and Jay Rios from Ethos Camp. and he was telling him like, yo, like Kosan's the only one really doing real hip hop stuff in Jersey like that as far as events go. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how we ended up doing the first tour date with Ito in 2018. Right before we did the Smith & Wesson show. Like, we did that together, 2019, actually, in March of 2019, a year before COVID. You know what I mean? We did the show, we did a show with Ito, and then a week later, we did the show with Smith & Wesson. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It was just...
Back-to-back legends.
Hell yeah.
Before we let you go, before we wrap up, talk to me about the OMG show.
OMG. OMG is called Out My Garage. It's basically a segment I do in my garage, and or out my garage, and I have artists come and do like their new project. So like if you got a new project, you come perform it live, and we have a little interview, we have dialogue, you talk about your creative process and just the whole process of creating the project the whole time, you know. Some of them just play, like I usually play a video, I usually play some live performance stuff, and we just have dialogue, you know, back and forth about the music and where it started, where it all begun, and all that stuff, man.
Dope. I like when I like a project, I like shit like that. Like, tell me how you created it. What's the behind the scenes story? You know, what's some shit that we definitely don't know about, you know what I mean?
Like you want to get into the intricacies of the album.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I try to get into with the artists. We just had Left Two Guns on there. Shout out to Left Two Guns. He's a legend from Jersey City. I mean, he's actually from Piscataway, New Brunswick area. And he had a song, 1 gun, 2 gun, 3 gun, 4 back in the days. He took the Onyx hook. And I had him on there. He just dropped a new project. And we was just like breaking down some stuff, and he was telling me how he was on Skinny Ballhead with Guru. Guru had an alias called Skinny Ballhead, and Left Two Guns was on that album under the name Larry Gaines. That's his real name, and he was on the name Larry Gaines. Yeah, and shout out to my homie.
Shout out again to
Squala,
Max Low, his favorite rapper, Guru.
Guru, word up.
Shout out to my man Squala, Orphan. Y'all can follow him on Instagram as well. He was actually on Skinny Ballhead too, and I just met him at a show in Brooklyn. He had this young kid. We got to get him up here. 7 years old. His name is Barboy. Shout out to Tep. His real name is Tep. 7 years old, and this kid is spitting like an adult, man. Like yo,
out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, they're out of Brooklyn.
Out of Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. 7
years old. I just had him. We just did the pumpkin giveaway at the Bethune Center on the 29th last Saturday. We did the pumpkin giveaway, and I had him come out and perform, and people was going crazy, man. A 7-year-old kid that knows how to project his voice, perform, control the crowd, and is rapping like, and he's not cursing, he's not saying no crazy stuff, it's not about no money or none of that stuff. Like, this kid is straight pure hip hop, man.
That's awesome, man.
That's the future.
Hip hop, you know, for as much as we knock it and as much as we not,
he's actually texting me right now.
The current sounds and waves and shit.
He's actually texting me right now. He's like, "Yo, where's my videos at?" That's him right there. He made friends.
His business.
He in artist mode. Yeah. Where my videos?
He made friends.
Business.
Yo, the kids from the playground thought he was a star. Yo, they was all trying to chill with him, man.
That's crazy.
7 years old, man. This kid, bro, a breath of fresh air, dude.
Yep.
A breath of fresh air.
Will never not surprise us, man, and hopefully it'll live forever.
Facts.
Before we let the brother Kosan go, let's get into 10 shots with VSOP.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna ask you 10 rapid fire questions. You answer them with minimal thought, and then we'll circle back.
Let's go. Let's go. I got close.
You look nervous.
You close my eyes.
Don't be nervous. All right, we'll go real quick. Number 10, Big L or Big Pun, better rapper.
Wow. Wow.
You gotta start with a bang, baby.
I plead the fifth, bro. That's hard, man.
Yeah.
Yo, listen. Listen, Big Pun is in my top 5, bro. And so is Big L. Damn, man. I'm going to say Pun, yo. I'm going to say Pun because Capital Punishment was a better album.
Okay. That's respectable.
Thank you for not capping. I appreciate that.
All right. Who you prefer better, Facts or Budden? As a rapper.
Man, The Achievement is one of my favorite albums of all time, and that's an easy question, man. Mickey Facts, man.
Mickey Facts, all right.
Mickey Facts.
Better producer, Alchemist or Havoc?
Yo, this guy is tough, man. This guy is tough, bro. These are hard ones, yo. Alchemist. Alchemist is my favorite producer of all time. When it comes to just straight beats, beats, not songs, but beats, I think nobody could last with Alchemist beat for beat. So Alchemist, yo.
Okay, respectable. Out of these three, who do you prefer, Ray, Ghost, or Meth? I know you're a big Wu-Tang fan.
Shout out to Wu-Tang. Shout out to Wu-Tang. Those ain't even my favorite Wu-Tang members, yo. But I'm a pick. Nah.
All right.
But
go ahead, say your pick, and then tell me who your favorite Wu-Tang member is.
I would have to go with Ghost.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I would have to go with Ghost on no 3. But
who's your favorite?
My favorite Wu-Tang members is Inspector Deck.
I knew you was gonna say that.
The Jizza.
I knew it.
The Jizza and the RZA. Just because of the beats. You know what I mean?
Okay. Fair
That's Burnz' fave.
Yeah. Burnz my favorite Wu-Tang rapper.
Yeah. All right.
Who?
RZA.
I love the RZA.
Yeah, me too.
Bobby Digital.
He's my second favorite.
His delivery is weird, and I love it.
Yeah, it's all unorthodox.
Very.
Better crew, D Block or Slaughterhouse? Got some spitters on both sides. Who you taking?
Now, when you say better crew, you talking about like just
if they were in front of each other and they were spitting.
I gotta go with Slaughterhouse, bro.
That's what I'm going.
I gotta go with Slaughterhouse, man, because you talk about Crooked Eye and Joel Ortiz.
You're writing these down because we gotta keep a tally.
Shout out to Crooked.
That's the same thing Max said yesterday.
Yo, shout out to King Crooked and shout out to Joel Ortiz who just dropped 2 dope projects.
Yes.
Keeping the Slaughterhouse legacy going, and Joe Budden and Royce. And Royce is one of my favorite of all time as well. Shout out to Jada, but I just don't think Jada could hold it down by himself against those Slaughterhouse dudes, man.
Ooh, what do you got to say about that, Blood?
Don't sleep on Styles, man.
Yo, Styles is my favorite. Styles is my favorite D Block member.
Yeah, and Seeker's just raw energy. So like,
I think
Seeker's gonna bring it every time.
I think song wise, like
D Block got it.
D Block got it. But when it comes to just straight spitting, I think it's the other way.
Because Slaughterhouse is too much spitting for a song.
Yeah, that's what they were put together for.
You talk about Crooked Eye, he don't even write raps. You know what I mean?
He's a piece.
Yeah, he crazy.
All right, number 5, better era in hip hop, 90s, 2000s, or the 2010s.
90s.
90s for sure.
All
right, since you're a big Wu-Tang fan,
everything 99 and down. Nah, I'm just saying.
You're like Black. Number 4, you're a big Wu-Tang fan. Better album in your opinion, 36 Chambers or Wu-Tang Forever?
36 Chambers.
Okay.
The impact is just the impact, yo. It's just the impact, man.
Well, what would you rather do? Because you said you get all these artists together, you put albums together, and you also put shows on and shit. What would you rather do? Put the albums together or shows? What do you
shows.
Prefer? Shows?
Yeah.
Like live performances?
Yeah, I love putting the events together, and I like concerts, like going to see people perform. Right. So I just love seeing the performances, man.
That's what's up. All right. Number 2, who had the better albums, the Lyricist Lounge or Sound Bombing? Which one you prefer?
Lyricist Lounge 2 and and Sound Bombing 3 are tied. They're at a tie. Yeah, they're at a tie. It's hard, man, because I have all those albums from Lyricist Lounge 1 and 2, Sound Bomb 1, 2, and 3. I have all those albums in mint condition on CD. They're not even touched. They're sitting there with no scratches on them. They're just sitting there. But I think Lyricist Lounge 2 and Sound Bomb 3 are at a tie.
So we're gonna go tie then.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
That's fine. And number 1, who do you prefer out of Griselda, Conway or Benny? Who the better rapper?
Conway.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to I think it's called the Lulu album.
Yeah, Lulu. Yeah,
I love that.
That's one
with the shark on the cover.
Wow,
crazy.
Shout out to the brother Kosan. Thank you for coming
Yo, man, the God. I was gonna call y'all the God cast.
Yeah, we are the God cast.
The God cast, bro.
Shout out to all the guys.
Shout out to the great American hip hop debate. know what I mean? I appreciate you guys having us up here, having me up here and representing Break a Leg.
Yes,
just representing the hip hop community, man.
Represent Jersey hip hop.
Again,
Likewise, man.
shout out to Mo Bean. Shout out to Lawyer Dynasty.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Jay Rios.
Absolutely.
Look out for that Ethos show coming to Jersey City.
Yes.
Right up.
We definitely got to be
Shout
a
out to
part of
DJ
that.
Beans.
Any shows you got coming up, let us know so we can help you promote.
Oh, you guys are coming to interview. What you talk about, man?
Absolutely. Make sure you're following the page, Break A Leg Entertainment.
Also, maybe get a show down here in Florida, man. We need it down here, man.
Let's do it.
We need it down here, man. Get these brothers out here again. They just came down a couple of weeks ago. Need them to come down next year and then probably go to Miami or something, man. There's
a big low life chapter out there, so we definitely could come down there and get the support.
Yeah. Shout out to homie from Orlando. Damn, what's his name, man? Fuck. He a big low life head from Orlando. He a beast. He got all the stories, the hip hop stories too out there.
Word up, man. But shout out to the low lights in Florida, man.
Yep. Shout out to what was the brother's name? Oh, to the brother Lito as well.
Yep. Shout out to Lito.
Yeah. Oh, Lito, man. Shout out to Lito. That's Lost Boys fam right there.
Yeah,
Word up.
Shout out to that. Again, shout out to Break A Leg Entertainment. Make sure y'all look out for the Cypher Lounge.
100.
Make sure y'all look out for the Break A Leg compilation. Make sure y'all look out for Enter the Dojo. Make sure you look out for the American Ninja. Shit already. Shout out to the brother Mickey Facts. Shout out to the brother Jay Budden. Y'all got any final shout outs?
Yo, shout out to my lady, you know what I mean? Of course, she helps me out tremendously, does all my graphic designs, helps me promo, and, you know, she's always giving me advice, helping me out with my brand. And shout out to my 2-year-old, my little Kosan, of course. Shout out to my daughter, Sanaya. She's out there starting a band, and I'm proud of her. Shout out to my homie Keith Chandler and True and Living. Make sure y'all go check out Where Beats Meet Bars. Sign up for that. That's a contest they do. You could win actual cash for spitting bars.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm about to be ready.
Stay with me.
Okay, Burnz.
Yeah. And
Burnz
then,
about to take that class.
Nah, man. And hey, yo, listen.
All of them.
Shout out to hip hop, bro, because in 2023 is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and we're gonna be doing some big things all around the city for the hip hop culture for the 50th anniversary all year long.
That's awesome. We definitely got to be out there.
Yeah, so make sure y'all stay in tune with that. We trying to bring Heather B out. We trying to bring Chill Rob G out. We trying to bring Double X Posse out. Rest in peace to Apache. You know what I mean? Nice. We trying to bring the whole flavor unit out, man. That's what we trying to do, man. Yeah, so yeah, man. Shout out to the whole Jersey City. Of course, my home. If it wasn't for the being raised out there and being cultured the way I was in Jersey City, I wouldn't be here doing this, man. So shout out to Jersey City, man.
Shout out to Jersey City, absolutely. VS.
Man, shout out to the guest once again, man. Kosan, man, you fucking came through, knocked it out the park. Fucking great interview. Shouts to us, man. Shouts to Jersey, bro. Jersey hip hop, man. We out here, man.
Word, this weekend been Jersey heavy, man. Shout out to that.
Yeah. Shouts to us again. You know, we did it back to back, man. We doing it. 126 undefeated episodes, man. We here.
Word up, man.
Big Bloodshot.
Yeah, man.
Dirty Jersey, we in the building. Wherever we at, man. Wherever we at down south, we in the building. Yo, shout out to you, Kosan. Yo, you broke down a lot of dope ass fucking stories, a lot of first time.
Yo, y'all heard the Joe Budden stuff for the first time, man.
We appreciate that. And yo, shout out to you for everything that you're doing, man. You got your hand in a lot of things, and that niggas could take the template and keep it moving. You know what I mean? So we're gonna talk. We're gonna make it happen. Homie from Orlando, his name is Big Earl, the low life from Orlando. Big Earl.
Dope. Hey yo, but you know what? Now that you said that, I want to say one more shout out. Shout out to EO Dub. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters in EO Dub. Shout out to my man Ill Answer. Shout out to Miss B. Shout out to Baxter Words. Shout out to the whole EO Dub family. Rest in peace, Vice Versus. They influenced me to start Break a Leg. I used to go to EO Dub on Sundays because that was the only place a hip hop artist had to go to express themselves. Mm-hmm. So for a long time, I used to go to New York, catch the train every Sunday, and sign up for open mic at EO Dub. And And I was inspired by them to start Break a Leg. So I wanted to give them a big shout out. We're gonna be collaborating, doing some stuff in Jersey soon. And shout out to Lyricist Lounge again, Danny Castro and them, and the inspired Break a Leg as well.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the Cypher Lounge. Blood, shout out to you, my brother.
Say less, my bro. You know how we do.
We're going to wrap it up with the love song of the week. It's a classic, but it's a slept-on classic. Coming from the queen herself, Mary J. Blige. This joint is called Time. Going out to all the ladies, all the moms, all the grandmas, all the sisters, all the wifeys, all the girlfriends, all the daughters, and the goddaughters. Brother F, hit me. To my thotties and my side pieces. I ain't forget about you. Shout out to y'all also. Still love you.
This guy.
Teachers and the strippers.
Hey.
The makeup artists, the hairdressers, career women, the bartenders, all the queens. One love. Episode 126 of the Godcast.
Yo.
Mary coming in smooth. Big Jersey energy all weekend. Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to all the ladies of Central Avenue. If I had my way, you already know, and I'm out.
Motherfucker.